Hello, everyone, and welcome in. It is time for a Saturday live reaction stream as the Buffalo Sabres are taking on the Minnesota Wild. A bit of a different setup for me today. I am crammed into my living room, not in my office, to do this particular live stream. It's a long story, but long story short, this is the only way I'm going to be able to watch the game and do a live stream at the same time. So it's a bit of a different setup. The sound's going to be a bit different. I kind of am crammed here against the wall. And there are two cats on the loose. So this is going to be a bit different than usual as far as the proceedings go. But hopefully it's going to be fun nonetheless here, as the Buffalo Sabres are set to take on what is now the hottest team in the league, because the Minnesota Wild just knocked off the hottest team in the league in the Colorado Avalanche yesterday, with a 2-1 shootout, where I guess it was a 3-2 shootout victory is how it ended up. But a wonderful day for the Wild yesterday. Not such a good day for the Buffalo Sabres, who fell 5-0 to the New Jersey Devils. So I'm figuring out this whole setup here. It's going to be a little bit different, but I think we can enjoy nonetheless. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Thanks for joining today. I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, I just can't wait for a cat to jump up on me or start meowing or something. But that has happened before. Just they were held outside the office prior to this. But so far, they're just confused by this whole setup and situation. I have the TV turned. The whole living room is a disaster at this point, but it's fine. So, there's a cat on the other side of the TV right now, so we'll see how it goes. But for the Sabres, this is a game where, I mean, I don't think we have much in the way of expectation for them to do very much, especially coming off last night. But hopefully they can give themselves a good account of themselves and play better than they've been. I think the energy was there against the Devils. I just think it didn't work out particularly well. And too many defensive mistakes, not the best goaltending on the part of Lyon, although I'm not very quick to blame Lyon for that, given that it was his first game in 18 days. Maybe the pets are trying to tell us something, that we shouldn't watch this game. Maybe they know something about the result that we don't already. That could well be, right? Yeah, that's true. We shouldn't speak things into existence. Maybe they're jealous because the Sabres are going to play so well that they're going to take all of our attention, and we can't give our attention to them as much. That's what we're going to speak into existence. The Sabres are going to play so well that the pets are just going to have to wait till the game's over. So, but this Minnesota team is really, really tough. Yeah, no, for sure. Right, definitely it's a case where when we've gone up against these really good teams, we've said no chance. And they've always played their best games against the best competition, so hopefully they follow suit in this tonight. Even the game against Colorado, even when they played pretty well against New Jersey, they just gave up 5 goals and lost. I don't know if that's playing pretty well. But the Colorado games, they acquitted themselves pretty well. And so hopefully tonight they're ready to do the same here. I think it's the latest start we've had to one of these live streams. 8 p.m. start, so we've done a lot of early ones, but not so many late ones. It looked like it based on what they showed. The site I usually use for goalie information was expecting that UPL would. I was like, there's no way UPL's playing because that's not the rotation. Let me see if it's been confirmed. I don't have any sound on. They showed him coming out there. I think it would be Ellis, right? If somebody knows before I check, feel free to post it up. Yeah, Colton Ellis is confirmed. Gustafsson confirmed for the Wild, but Ellis confirmed for the Sabres. So, yeah, it's going to be Ellis, which I think is just the rotation we're going with. If he keeps winning, he'll keep playing, right? So I honestly think Ellis is the one I enjoy watching the most. because he has upside. At least when he doesn't play well, like, he's learning and he's going to get better from it. Lyon just was so rusty, I think, in yesterday's game. And then you can't give everyone enough time with the 3-man rotation. You got to move somebody out at some point, I think. And I think they don't want to give up on UPL, and they don't necessarily want to trade him out. And, I mean, you sign Lyon this year to be the backup. I highly doubt you'd get rid of him. So we'll see. But, yeah, it's Ellis's turn, and so hopefully he can come in and play well. I think he's the one, again, with the most upside. So, and he's the one I enjoy watching the most anyway. He seems to be, in a lot of respects, the best combination of consistency and dynamic, and he plays the puck very well as well. So there's a lot of good points to Ellis's game. There's some things he needs to clean up, but in general, he looks quite good. Calgary game, he just got kind of hung out to dry by a complete failure on the team. Yeah, I agree with you. You got to have an actual system where they play. You can't just do it based on who's hot. But that's how Lindy operates. So he just wants to find one guy that he can ride, because that's how he's kind of always managed goalies and teams. But I agree with you. You got to get all the guys time. It's very, very important. Especially when you have like a mix of veterans and kids, and just everyone wants to play. Everyone wants opportunities. And if they don't play, they start to stew. Like Lyon, he has to feel like he's got the short end of the stick, because you look at his 3 games this month. The first one he played, well, yeah, this month, but he played against Carolina, right? And then that's when we started this whole rotation in earnest, because Luukkonen came back. And then he got the Colorado game. He got pulled very early. And then his next game was against the Devils. I mean, he's played Carolina, he's played Colorado, and he's played New Jersey. Those have been his 3 games. Now, you don't complain about the level of competition, but that's tough. Like, it's tough to keep playing when those are the teams you're playing against, you know? So I think there has to be some recognition of actually how these guys are playing. Anyway, hopefully they can play well in front of Ellis tonight. Minnesota's not a terribly offensive team. They're really a defense-first team. They can score goals when they get hot, but they're much more comfortable just shutting you down totally. So they're posting the statistics for the goalies now. Yeah, Ellis a bit inflated, the 3.41 goals against, but again, that's because he doesn't have a ton of minutes. And he got lit up by Calgary. His numbers were much better coming into the Calgary game. He just needs more time to get a clear read on him, I think. The good news is Mattias Samuelsson was cleared of the concussion protocol, so he's back in there tonight. That would have been really tough to come into this game having to play Bryson and Metza. There's still no Josh Norris. He is still on the reserve list, and I don't believe he made this trip. So I guess they're maybe going to look at Winnipeg, but I think they're taking their time as well. I mean, obviously, you don't want to come back. My fear is that he's had a setback, and they're not saying anything about it, because he was projected for this weekend. They talked about, honestly, he might play this weekend, and he hasn't played. So if there's been a setback there, that's not going to be the best thing. The lines have been changed, so they're opening up tonight with Kozak, Benson, and Thompson, I guess, is their top line. Kozak's earned that. Thompson's back on the wing, and Kozak playing center as we are underway here in Minnesota. The puck is in the Buffalo zone right away. Dahlin ties his man up behind the net. Samuelsson tries to get control of it. 19:40 to go here in the first period, just underway. The Wild working around the zone. It is brought up by Faber. Faber back to Boldy. Boldy throws it in front of the net, and it is swept away by Samuelsson, who tries to play it up the wall. He does out of the zone. It goes down into the Minnesota zone. Not for icing, and Minnesota takes it, and they start their path out. 19:12 to go first period here, just underway. Puck comes into the Buffalo zone. Byram is able to swipe it out, but, well, not out, as Minnesota regains control at the point. And now they're cycling yet again in the offensive zone. Kaprizov brings it around to the point, and it's played forward. Kaprizov gets it again, going towards the net, makes a move, goes for the wraparound, and Ellis, good save to keep it out. Looked like he was going to have a really good shot at the wraparound, but Ellis came up big there. We'll see it on the replay exactly what happened, but looks like a pretty strong start to the game there. A good stop by Ellis on Kaprizov as he hit with speed and had a really good wraparound chance. It looks like Ellis was able to keep it out. Byram was there, but it is the toe of the pad there able to keep it out. Yeah, it is all Ellis there. Byram did not get his stick on that puck. So 18:40 to go. And the puck is flipped out of the zone there. Yeah, I just saw that he was going to play. I checked the website a few minutes. He was still listed as day-to-day by some sources. So I think they maybe were trying to keep it under wraps for a while. But it came out like an hour or an hour and a half before the game that he was going to play. But I guess maybe not all the sources updated. You know how that goes. So 18:30 to go first period. Buffalo wins the draw. They bring it across the red line. Puck is dumped down. Sabres try to come in on the forecheck. It is a Tuck, Doan, and Austin line out there now as the play is blown dead at center ice. Thinking about that Tuck, Doan, Austin line, I like what that gives you potentially. There's going to be some good looks there, I think. And obviously reuniting Benson with Thompson is not a bad decision. I don't mind changing the lines that much. Like, you have a lot of options, and I think you do want to get Benson and Thompson together because they do have, or at least early in the year when Benson was playing, they were able to connect a few times. But honestly, the Tuck, Doan, Thompson line was not all that bad against New Jersey. I believe they had something in the neighborhood of 9 shots combined. So they were pretty productive. There's a chance in front here for Minnesota. It's turned aside by Ellis. And the Sabres scramble to try to get it out of the zone. Peyton Krebs is able to get it up to center ice. Dunn and Malenstein out there now. Greenway having another day for load management. So he is out. 17:43 to go. Sabres with possession. They slow things down to Dahlin. Good. I like to see him slow things down, complete the line change, and just make smart plays up the ice. That's all I want to see. But this is just a long pass, which gets tipped down into the zone. And Minnesota is able to get control as Gustafsson played it from behind his net. The Sabres regain as Minnesota threw it up ice. And the play is bogged down now in the neutral zone as Minnesota has possession. Minnesota, lots of possession early here in the first 3 minutes. Sabres have been chasing a little bit, been struggling to hold the puck. As Thompson has it behind his own net. The forecheck for Minnesota really tough. They force a turnover, and they have an opportunity there, but Middleton can't handle it. And now Benson comes the other way for Buffalo. Benson throws it cross ice. It is held and turned in by Timmins. Thompson behind the Minnesota net. Now Benson's going to have it near the circles. He throws it back down low to Thompson. And on a pinch there is Owen Power. Power gets control of the puck. Sends it across with some space. A shot. It goes through Gustafsson, but not into the goal. Goes wide of the goal. As now Benson battling behind the net. He was able to regain possession. He's taken down, and that's going to be a penalty on Minnesota. I believe Spurgeon trips Benson up there in the corner, and that's going to send the Sabres to an early power play. A really good shift there by that top line, getting some early energy. And yeah, that's a pretty good start there for Buffalo. They held on the early rush, and then they were able to put a shift together of their own. And that one was so close on that shot from, I believe that was Dahlin. It trickled right through Gustafsson, but nobody was there to put it away. So in the early going, 16:25 to go in the first, the Sabres going to the power play. And an early opportunity for Buffalo. They haven't had a lot of power play opportunities the last few games, but when they have had opportunities, it's gone fairly well. They just haven't been able to get the goal, but they've been able to generate chances. Yeah, exactly, right? They always play up to their their opponents. Saber, I just saw your comment. Yeah. Just make sure there's nothing breakable around. That's good advice always. Byram to McLeod. McLeod works it down low. McLeod has it again, throws it across to Byram. 1:24 here to go on the power play. McLeod down low. They're moving it around the zone. They are moving well. To Power in the high slot, and he gets a shot away, which is saved by Gustafson. Good opportunity there, good position. Puck is sent up and out of play by Minnesota. They say it deflects up and out of play. So nothing else there. My cat is trying to get under me right now, which is... I'm not in a space where I can deal with that at the moment. He knows I'm talking to someone, but he doesn't know who I'm talking to, and it's driving him crazy. So, Sabres on the power play. 1:11 to go. Minnesota wins the draw and clears the zone. Colton Ellis picks it up, and he plays it to Dahlin. The one element Ellis gives you is that he's pretty good at playing the puck, and I think that's one area where he has an advantage over the other two goalies on this roster. Tage Thompson brings it into the zone, but he's stripped. He had Benson on the other side, but he was trying to get through the crowd of Wild. The Wild get control of the puck, send it down ice. Puck goes behind the net. It's picked up by Dahlin. As Dahlin brings it out, 40 seconds to go on the man advantage here for Buffalo. It'd be a shame to waste this one, as they really worked it. They really generated it on their own. Puck comes through here. Same play. Thompson tries to bring it through a crowd and just gets the puck cleared on him again. Maybe try a different path through, guys. Same play twice in a row. It didn't work the first time. Not going to work the second time. Doan brings it into the zone from a pass from Dahlin. Dahlin has it behind the Minnesota net. He throws it to the point where Byram is pinching. He tries to throw it back to Dahlin, but he can't do it as it gets deflected by a Wild player and is cleared down ice. And that will pretty much do it for this power play. 3 seconds left, and it will expire with the Sabres in their own end. Byram hits McLeod up wing with some speed, tries to center it, but it is blocked off by the Wild, and they send it up and out of the zone. But it is intercepted at center ice by Connor Timmins, who brings it down to McLeod. McLeod works it into the zone. And he leaves it for Austin, who leaves it back for Timmins, who does a little bit of a spin move. Didn't know he could do that. Quinn picks it up behind the net, and he loses it out. And now it's a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Wild, back the other way. Chance down low, but they cannot handle that. I believe that was Zuccarello who could not handle the pass there. And now Kaprizov has it, gets it down low. Chance goes through the crease, not stopped, but it also wasn't on net. Kaprizov throws it down low again, and Byram has to hold it behind the net there. And now Connor Timmins brings it way up ice. Is that onside? It looks like Quinn caught it in the Minnesota zone. They didn't call offsides, though. They're letting them continue to play. It was just like a deep pass with the puck in the air, and Quinn caught it in the offensive zone. I guess it was not offside. And then Colton Ellis catches one out of the air as well, and that'll lead to the first stoppage of the game. 0-0 the score, 13:15 to go in the first period. Yeah, I agree with you, Saber. I've been saying that for a while, right? Like with the power play, we don't have that second guy who, on one line, who teams can focus on as far as scoring. When we had Rosane, actually, with Rosane up, it was a little bit better because he actually could score those goals he had shown this year on the power play. When he was on the power play, it was a bit more dynamic. But yeah, I agree. Someone like Stamkos, someone who could finish, maybe not Stamkos himself, but yes, someone like Stamkos who can finish would really boost that power play because they don't just have to focus on him. I actually agree. I think as long as Norris is not on this roster, Rosane is a better choice than Ostlund to have up. I think once Norris comes back, you could switch them. But I think right now, as long as Norris is still out, Rosane is the guy you would want because, like I was saying yesterday with the Benson, Kozak, Ostlund line, if you had Benson, Kozak, and Rosane, I think you actually have a threat there on that third line. But with Ostlund's a really good, complete player who can do a lot of different things. In terms of, but he's like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And obviously he's not wholly skilled at anything yet. Rosen is more of the guy who can get you those goals from good positions. So I think I agree with you. At least until Norris comes back, I'd rather have Rosen here than Ostlund. But the math changes once Norris comes back. And so, I mean, we'll see what they do. But I think they're pretty set on Ostlund being the guy they want up for an extended period right now. And I would say that Dunn is probably the guy that is going back down to fill that roster spot for Norris. Yeah, no, I can understand that. I really can understand that. It's just, right now they're carrying guys that they're not going to get rid of. Right? Like, Greenway is taking up a roster spot, which I don't think is great right now because he can't really play. I just send him to IR and bring Rosen up and let them both play together again. Right now, with Greenway being only half healthy, I don't really understand the infatuation with forcing him to be on the roster. Yeah, it's a question of when with Norris. Yeah, absolutely. But I just right now we're trying to get through the season with these guys, and nobody's hurt. Yeah, we don't really need Greenway on this roster, I don't think. But it's not what we think, it's what they think, and they apparently want him on the roster. So, you do what you can with that. Game is restarted here. 12:35 to go. The Wild are set up in the Sabres zone. They're generating a fair bit of opportunity thus far. They got some shots in, and now they're trying to move it around the zone a bit. They're working it at the point. Puck goes out of the zone. That is Boyum who struggles to control that one. Right now, the Wild defensemen at the point have had some issue keeping the puck in. They're not getting those tape-to-tape point passes very effectively. Power and the Sabres set up, take their time behind their own net, let everybody get into position, and away they go. They're into the offensive zone now. Puck goes around the boards to Benson. Benson throws it back to... I was not expecting to see Bryson pinching that much, but it was Jacob Bryson all the way up ice there. And with his pinch, the Wild clear it down ice, and it's an icing, so the faceoff will go back into the Minnesota zone. I stopped talking because I was like, I thought it was maybe Thompson. No, it's Jacob Bryson down there behind the Minnesota net. I would agree. Like, if he's not 100%, like, you keep him on IR and you let him work back, right? Like, why are we doing load management? Load management, in hockey, if you can't go 100%, what are you doing? As Doan gets a really good chance in front that is turned aside there by Gustafsson. 11:45 to go first period. The Sabres, after giving up the first two shots, have collected the next four. And they've been going pretty well in this game. They're definitely standing up to Minnesota. This is definitely a trap game, you have to say, for the Wild, right? Like, they just beat Colorado, and they're on a 6-game winning streak, and they're playing the worst team in the Eastern Conference. I mean, it's very tough, I think, to get yourself up. As they fire a long shot in, which Ellis holds for their third shot. Ellis will take those all night. They're going to fire those in from basically the blue line with nobody around. Like, give him the save percentage. Yeah, no, Norris is definitely going to get hurt again when he comes back. So, but yeah, I think this Greenway, I think you're taking time away from young guys that we would like to see play, right? Like, I don't know what the benefit of keeping Greenway off IR is. They like him for his penalty kill, sure, but, I mean, the penalty kill's been fine. Been better than fine. I mean, they're number 2 in the league, and he hasn't played most of that time. Sabres send a pass up ice. Kozak was offside, and then it hit him. So that's going to be an offside on the Sabres. My Cats have now decided they want to fight, so they're obviously getting into the hockey spirit as well. I think we can find a way to. The problem is with a lot of these guys we want to trade. There's a lot of health issues with them. Like, I think one reason teams don't really want to take a flyer on UPL is not so much his contract. It's more so he has those 2 lower body injuries from early in the year. Sabres have restarted play. Puck, they brought it down to the Minnesota zone. The Wild have possession in their own end. Kaprizov puts it back to Brodin. Brodin throws it up ice to Faber. Faber throws it up to Yurov. Yurov brings it into the zone, and they have Kaprizov loose again. He gets a shot, which is blockered down by Ellis from a sharp angle. And then Kaprizov had a chance, but the puck got through. Kaprizov has basically been the offense for Minnesota thus far in this one, the first 10 minutes of the game. Sabres can't clear the zone. Middleton throws it, and now when a shot comes in from the point, it is blocked. Middleton recovers, sends it back to Brodin. Brodin has it. Brodin skating around the zone, and he throws it back to Zuccarello. Zuccarello leaves it to nobody, but they're able to recover, and Kozak is able to get the puck. He tries to send it out of the zone. He cannot. Not a good clearance there whatsoever. And now, loose in the circle, pass across, they score. Minnesota, Kaprizov with the goal. Pass across from Zuccarello. Sabres got put in a bad position. Poor clearance there by Kozak, and it led to a good offensive chance, and the Wild take a 1-0 lead. Once again, just not playing well in your own end. It's another defensive zone turnover, though this time not by a defenseman, but it's the same story as what we just saw last night. I mean, you don't get the clearance, you get a bad D-zone turnover, you're not in position, and it leads to that. Kaprizov's been on fire in this game so far. Anyway, 1-0 lead for the Wild there. The Sabres... Sorry, I just destroyed my microphone there. Again, I'm not used to where everything is in this setup. Sabres come out. They're not playing that badly, but you can't have that. If you're going to fight with these really good teams, you can't make mistakes like that. And yeah, it's basically a bunch of kids and a bunch of old injured guys. Like, that's what the Sabres are at the moment. And it's a bunch of kids and a bunch of old injured guys trying to play a complicated system that requires speed. So it's not like we're set up for success at the moment. It's tough. So 10:09 to go. Sabres are in the Wild end. They are hopefully going to have a response to this. Hopefully, I mean, it would be nice to get a goal at some point here this weekend. Quick shot from Quinn is gloved down by Gustafsson. He holds it. A good face-off win and a good shot by Quinn. Quinn's been feeling it recently in terms of being able to generate offensive chances. Defensively, he had a bad moment in the Devils game, but you know, he's still working on that part of his game. That's a pretty good shot. It caught Gustafsson up high. He got air under it. Not the easiest save and not the easiest rebound to control. 10:05 to go, first period. Draw is won by the Sabres. They get it to Timmins. Timmins looks for a shot and then thinks better of it, takes it down low, throws it in front. There's nobody there to collect that puck. It goes all the way back down to Colton Ellis, who sticks it at the side of the net. Bowen Byram picks it up, and now he holds it behind the net. They are taking more time on their breakouts tonight, which I do like to see. This breakout goes through Quinn, who has a collision at center ice, but Timmins keeps it going. McLeod tries to center it, and it's picked up by Jason Zucker, really the first time we've called his name tonight. But the Wild are able to escort that out to center, where Timmins recovers, and then he's able to throw it up ice. It gets bogged down a little in the neutral zone. Quinn's not able to control it. Goes down into the Minnesota end, and the Sabres go for a change as the Wild take possession of the puck. Hartman tries to throw it across, but he's intercepted there by Tuck, who just came on. Tuck to Ostlund, power across to a incoming. Now Doan has it in front. Oh, a high danger chance in the slot, and Doan only finds Gustafsson's chest. Write me another story. That is the exact story we were looking at last night, but that was a really good opportunity in the house. Doan just not quite able to put it past Gustafsson, but pressure is there. The Sabres have not backed off. As we head to commercial, 9:06 to go in the first, 1-0 Minnesota, the score. Yeah, not... Again, they're there, they're skating, they're putting on pressure, but they make too many mistakes in their own end. Like, it's tough. At least it's not a bad effort, you know? I can live with these a lot more than when the team just doesn't show up. You know, that Calgary game, that St. Louis game, those games were infuriating because the team just didn't play in those games. It's because New Jersey, you couldn't discount their effort, even if you discounted how they were playing or what they were doing, but they were trying, and tonight they're trying. So hopefully we have an equalizer coming. Hopefully at some point that effort pays off. So, about halfway through this first period, though, other than Kaprizov, who has put us to the sword already, we've had the better of it, but really no consistent possession. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why it's frustrating because, I mean, I think everyone who's following this team closely, I think all of us fans realize that there is a degree of ability here. And if they can play consistently with energy and pace and speed and all of that, and they can put some things together night in and night out, I agree with you. I don't think it's that big of a stretch. And that's why it's so frustrating to watch them scuffle like this. Now, at some point here, if they don't figure out ways to win some of these games, and if this upcoming road trip is the disaster it could potentially be, we could be way out of it, and then it would be a stretch. But there is talent on this roster. It might not be being used to its best effect, but it is there. I mean, you match us up with a lot of different teams, and I think we're on par with a lot of different teams in this league. We're not going to be on par with the top teams, but you know, every team below the top 10 teams has problems. There are no teams that are that good this year, especially in the Atlantic Division. Maybe in the Atlantic Division you have Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay and Montreal. And Montreal is very young, so they're very hit or miss as well. Plays restarted here. The Sabres have possession in their own end. 8:40 to go first period. Puck goes up and away to Tage Thompson. Thompson makes a good move, takes a shot, and it is saved by Gustafsson. He made a good move to get himself free to take that shot. But once again, Gustafsson is there. I'm glad to see that the Sabres are not getting discouraged by the lack of scoring. You know, earlier in this year, it was very much if this team didn't score, especially Tage Thompson, if he didn't score, he'd go in the tank. But his effort has been there really since that road game against Utah. He's been playing up to a standard that we can accept, I think. He was really scuffling there early in the year. Play restarts. Thompson has it at center ice. The Wild throwing some checks, but they're not able to get control of the puck. Thompson ultimately brings it into the zone. And now the Wild have possession. Dahlin muscles his man off the puck as they enter the zone, but it's turned over. And now behind the net are the Wild with possession there. It's their fourth line out there. Trenin, Strum, and Pitlick. Pitlick tries to get possession of it, but he loses it. Benson picks it up. And he's not quite able to bring it into the zone. It comes out of the zone. Samuelson has possession. He throws it all the way back down into the Sabres' end, and now they chip it forward into the Minnesota end, where the Wild are able to get possession. Strum plays it up ice, and now Kaprizov back out there, and that is a terrifying sight tonight. He has been absolutely amazing in the first part of this game. He throws it back to the point, and from there, Zuccarello sends it down low. Urov tries to send it in front of the net, but the Sabres intercept, and here come the Sabres. Beck Malenstein with Dunn. Leaves it for Krebs. Krebs takes a shot, and it's in! It's a goal! The Sabres score! I'm not quite sure how it went in, but maybe a bounce off the Peyton Krebs shot. Maybe Malenstein got a piece of it in front. Looks like Malenstein got a piece of it, but the Sabres have tied this game at 1, and so we're back in this one tonight, and getting a goal against that top line there is the fourth line. So Krebs takes a shot. It's a rebound that bounced into Malenstein and then into the goal. Malenstein didn't really do anything. Just a rebound off Gustafsson that, you know, sometimes you just go to the net and good things happen. And that's a case of, you know, they've had all these grade A chances. They've had all these great opportunities where they've just shot it into the goalie. And the one goal they get is off a fortunate bounce. And so hopefully that generates some energy and some momentum. It's kind of similar in my mind to that first goal against Ottawa way back when, in the fourth game of the year, where we started 0-3, we weren't scoring, and then Quinn got that goal off the back wall that bounced off the goalie and went in. Maybe the Sabres take advantage like they did there and can get their offense going a little bit. But 1-1 as 7:12 here to play first period. McLeod tries to send it towards the net. It gets deflected off Middleton's stick, up and out of play. But there you go. Sabres are in this game now. More than in this game. They've looked like the better team through 13 minutes. With the exception of when Kaprizov's on the ice. Yeah, just going hard to the net. They keep showing the replay here. It just goes, it goes off Malenstein's, I guess, glove more than anything. Sabres win the draw. McLeod, Quinn, and Zucker out there. Puck goes towards the net. McLeod got held up. Didn't like it, but didn't amount to much. Puck goes down into the Sabres' own end. Powers being harassed. And he's ultimately able to get the puck to McLeod. McLeod to Quinn. Quinn tries to throw it up to Zucker, who battles his man and, gets thrown into the boards, but is not able to get possession of the puck. Minnesota brings it out. Now trying to respond to that Sabres goal, but in the end, they just ice the puck. So 6:30 to go. Shots are 9-4 in favor of Buffalo. Score is tied at 1. So we got to get on board now. Like, you're in the game. As long as you're in the game, you have a chance. Now, Minnesota, I said this in the video, preview video, they only have 9 regulation wins this year. Yeah, they have 14 wins overall because they've pulled off a lot of games in overtime or in the shootout. But they have 9 regulation wins. The Sabres have 8 regulation wins. And this is a Wild team that started the year only 2 wins in the month of October. They're very streaky. So, and they're obviously on a good run right now, but if they're not scoring, they're going to struggle. Tuck, a good chance in front, delivered by Doan. And then a shot from the point comes in, which is held by Gustafsson. 6:19 to play. That'll be shots number 10, at least there for the Sabres. Dahlin's shooting percentage, by the way, this year. I said it also in the video, but Dahlin's shooting percentage was, when I checked it yesterday, I had to do a double take because it's like 1.3 on the year. It's not great. Contrast that to known sniper Matthias Samuelsson, who's shooting at a rate of 15% this year. Hey, Calgary got hot right after they beat us, too. They won like 3 straight. Like, we're the get-right game for a lot of these teams. Sabres have possession. Well, they basically had possession. Now Tuck's going to lose possession. Are you serious? Oh, my word. Alex Tuck loses possession and they score. Oh, that is absolutely terrible. What is Alex Tuck doing? That is not an $11 million contract sort of play there, Alex Tuck. You want that contract. You can't be doing bullshit like that. Excuse me. But that is absolutely awful. Loses the puck there to Boldy. Boldy just lifts his stick, gets the puck, drives it in, and you'd like Ellis to make a save there, sure. You'd like Samuelsson to maybe step up and get a stick on the puck, sure. But, I mean, just come on. Oh, my God. I'm laughing so that I won't start crying. I mean, Ellis also needs to do a little bit better, but it's a 1-on-0 chance at that point. So, I mean, you hope he can make that save, sure. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I'm not going in on Ellis for that. It is absolutely 100% on Tuck, right? Oh man, that you can't. I don't have words. But that's the exact type of goal we give up all year. I mean, anytime we have momentum, somebody does something ridiculously stupid and gift wraps the other team momentum. Tuck, this is a contract year, buddy. if the Sabres really aren't offering over $10 million, I mean, with the way he's played this year, that's more of the Sabres, I think, have a more reasonable valuation of him than a lot of the fans do. I'll say that. I like what he brings on the penalty kill. I like what he brings in terms of willing to go block shots and occasionally be physical. But you cannot do that. If you're one of the stars on this team, you cannot do that. Chris, I got to say, I agree with your comment. I didn't talk about it earlier. You said I maintain that Ruff is coaching a team with a different skill set than he actually has in front of him. I think it's just because he believes in his system. There's two types of coaches in this world. There's coaches that are system coaches, and they always want to run their system regardless of the people they have. They just want to teach the system. And, sometimes that works to great effect. And then you have coaches who will modify their systems for the talent they have around them, and that sometimes works to great effect too. A lot of times those system coaches have more success at the beginning, but the guys who are willing to adapt their systems tend to have more success overall. But if you have players who are suited for a system coach, the system coach can be extremely effective. Case in point, you look at recently, and I'll go to the NFL for this, but you look at the Raiders' recently fired offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. When he started off with the Philadelphia Eagles way back when, they were world beaters because they had a skill set that could match the way he wanted to coach, the way he wanted his offense to run. Fast, fast, fast. Go, go, go. But then when he got in situations with less talent, totally unable to get them to play the system he wanted. So, I mean, it's the same sort of deal. When you don't have players that can fit what you want to do, you either really find a way to adapt or die. I don't think you have to give up the whole system, but I think you can make concessions for the guys that you have. Some of the guys clearly just cannot play in the system. They don't have the experience or the feel or the capacity. So, that's where we are. Sabres get a quick shot off the draw there. 5:10 to go first period. Obviously, the Sabres have received a blow there with that Minnesota goal, but there's nothing you can do except pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and just keep going. Shot comes in there. Ellis gloves it, so a good save on the Wild there. They'll get a face-off in the Buffalo zone. 4:59 to go first period. 2-1 Minnesota leads. That is a good glove there by Ellis. He was well positioned for it. Basically, puck went right into it on the Hartman shot. I just want Ellis to have help. A little bit of help in front of him. He's had a tough last 4 periods. I really like what they try to do down there in Rochester. I like the shot chaos theory. I like a lot of what Leone does down there. I think there's a lot of really good stuff happening down there with their development. And I think that the front office has changed. The Sabres front office has changed its approach and is leaning more on we have to actually develop these guys. We can't just bring them up when they have a little bit of success. That's what happened with really the first wave of prospects, and now the first 1.5 waves of prospects coming through the system. Well, now I think they're taking their time and they're actually developing these guys, and we've seen finally the benefit this year with Rosén and Austin. Rosén's taken time, but this year it really paid off a little bit. And that's why I want the development process to be slowed down for a lot of these guys, because I think it's going to make better players in the long run. Chance in front there for the Sabres. Minnesota brings it up ice. 4:30 to go here in the first period. They have a good Kaprizov, a backhand chance in front. Somebody put the clamp on that guy. He is really, really unstoppable in this first period. Putting the Sabres to the sword in the early going. He's generated maybe 60% of Minnesota's offense, and Alex Tuch generated the other 40%. Kaprizov shot in, good save there by Colton Ellis. He holds it. He had to move to get that one, but he was able to squeeze it and keep possession of it. Kaprizov has to have like 5 of their 7 shots at this point. I mean, this is a situation where we were playing them in Buffalo. I think we'd be able to find a way to contain him, but we simply are not going to be able to match up the way things are here now. So not going to be able to match up on the road. They're going to be able to do what they want, essentially, at home. Chance comes in, walk-in chance there for I can't say his name, for BM of all people. Now, Bowen Byram brings it up. Tuck, trying to redeem himself, gets it to the center of the ice, and he believes it passed wide for Doan. Doan cycles it back to Timmins. Timmins takes a shot, deflects wide of the goal. Tuck gets possession in the circle. Tries to backhanded it into a Wild player, was able to find the puck again, but it was ultimately possessed up by the Wild, who bring it up ice and try to get a bit of a counterattack. Chance comes in. It was chopped at by a Wild player, went wide of the goal, and now the Sabres are able to get a little bit of possession as Doan is able to settle things down. He gets it to Tuck, who sends it back to Bowen Byram. Byram down to Timmins as the Sabres get a change. Working it up ice is Benson. Benson is sticked at center ice. Puck gets into the zone onside, but no Sabres are able to follow after it. Kozak, a bit of a half-hearted forecheck there. Minnesota, Boldy sends it across. A chance is, it looked like it went off a body, but ultimately saved by Ellis. Good stop there. Middleton retreating there for the Wild. He tries to play it past Benson and is ultimately able to. The Wild bring it up ice now with a chance, an opportunity here. And they hold it up, and good save. Colton Ellis. Tage Thompson not able to do anything on his man. Colton Ellis had to come all the way out to stop that opportunity. The Sabres try to get a change in as Jacob Bryson tries to pick it up behind his net. Boldy in on the forecheck along with Eriksson. And now it's tied behind the net. Power's able to get it, skates away with it, but not able to get it to anybody. The Sabres have no guys up ice, so there's no way to get it out of the zone. There's a tie up now in the half wall. Power's able to get it, sends it to Bryson behind the net. Bryson sends it all the way down ice. It's going to be waved off as the Sabres had two guys coming. Gustafsson plays it forward, and just like that, Eriksson's able to bring it up ice for the Wild and dump it in on Ellis. Ellis is just going to cover it up. Probably a smart decision there to get a face-off and a change. Since that second goal, the Wild have really taken control of this game. The Sabres had that one Tuck chance, but other than that, the Wild have started to move a bit more offensively. Shots are now 10-9 in favor of the Sabres. So momentum did definitely shift there. That Boldy chance, man. Thompson did not know what to do there defensively, but good stop by Colton Ellis. Now up to 8 saves on the night on the 10 shots. Hey, my cat is like, what are you doing? Why are you talking so much? He just wants some attention. Sabres trying to get the puck out of their zone. Cannot do it here. The Wild, with their top line out there, Yurov sends it around. And now they work it back. Send it down low where Samuelson's able to get possession. Krebs bring it out. Krebs brings it into the zone. And Krebs he brings it all the way with a little help from Dahlin. Dahlin's able to get it in the circle. Well, it flipped up on him. He wasn't able to get possession, but Dunn able to follow it up nicely. And now Dahlin tries to throw a pass across. There's a mess of a play in front, but they can't get anything on net there. Tuck takes his man down in the corner. Dahlin's able to win possession. They throw it across to Samuelson. Samuelson down low to Tuck. Tuck it gets tied up in the circle and then loses the puck, but then he's able to battle Kaprizov for it. And the Wild are able to clear the zone, and Ostlund is stripped to the puck at center ice. And then it's shot in. Good save by Colton Ellis. Got the blocker and the pad on it. It was from a difficult angle, but he's able to keep it out. Down low, the Wild continue to work with 36 seconds left in the period. Good hit there by, I believe that's Timmins. He lays a good hit on him. And the Sabres are able to win possession. Ostlund brings it up ice and works it down low. But the Sabres not able to get possession. The Wild bring it out. Timmins able to get a soft pass across to his D-man in his own zone. Then he loses possession, but nobody's around as the Wild were changing. Thompson picks up the puck, takes a really soft shot in from the point, bounces up on Gustafsson. The rebound is controlled by Buffalo, but time will expire before that shot can get hit home. So the score will be 2-1 at the first intermission. Shots tied at 11. A really back and forth, up and down period. If not for that Alex Tuck disaster class, it would be a tie, you would have to say. But Sabres are still in this game. They're just going to have to find another goal if they want a shot at taking it home. Yeah, Ellis is going to have a lot of work to do in this one. But, you know, he recovered very nicely from that Tuck disaster. I mean, it would be very easy for a goalie to go in the tank there. You've given up 2 goals on 5 shots. But he's done a really nice job of bringing it back and making a lot of big saves in this one. I mean, Minnesota walks out of that period with 7 scoring chances to the Sabres 6. So Ellis acquitted himself very well. Yeah, I agree. In terms of NHL experience, it's impressive what Ellis has been able to do. I think, to a large degree, Ellis is a goalie with a really good foundation. He knows who he is. He had to come up from every single step, and I think that has a lot to do with. I like when goalies come up the long way, when they're developed level to level, or they spend a lot of time in the AHL. They develop that foundation, which they're able to fall back on when things aren't going well. I think one of UPL's issues is that he doesn't have a very strong foundation to his game, which I think he's extremely athletic and has extreme talent, does UPL. But I think the foundation of his game is not that strong. And he's constantly out of position. He's overplaying. He feels like he has to do too much to make saves. And he struggles in the clutch. Those are all signs of a goalie who doesn't have a great foundation to fall back on. Alex Lyon, obviously, he's a veteran of many years. You never really have to worry about him. You're going to get the same goalie performance from him pretty much every night. You know what you're going to get with him. But, yeah, it's impressive. Ellis, again, has, I think, the most upside now because he has that foundation, but he doesn't have the NHL experience. You add that NHL experience to that foundation, and he could be a fantastic goalie. He might not have the natural talent of a UPL, but he has better eyes than UPL, and he can follow the play better than UPL can. And just, yeah, I mean, that matters, I think. But, you know, you just need some help. You go back to that Pittsburgh game. That was a game that we really needed to play well in. Yeah, no, that's true, right? It's tough for a career backup to come in and just take the reins. He did very well early in the year, but, you know, that wore on him a little bit. And I think we're seeing now, though, that he was in with the starter's mindset for a while, and now he's transitioning back to being a backup. And I think that's just been really tough for him in a lot of respects. I always mess up. This is my tradition every game. When I do these live streams, I totally mess up the boxes I have up here. I should just lock them. I just learned today, in the last 5 minutes, that I can lock those boxes. It's still off, pal. It's still off center. It's going to bother me forever. Okay, good enough. All right, it is what it is. Close enough for government work there, right? Yeah, I think when he knew his role, I think he was better. When he had in the mindset, I'm the starter or I'm the backup, I think it's easier mentally on these guys. I think when you don't know what you are, or when you're playing in this win and you keep playing kind of situation that they have, I think it's really hard for guys mentally to just get up because you basically have no security. One game, one loss. If the next 2 guys go on winning streaks, you might not play for it like 20 days, like what happened to Lyon there. I think it's a really mentally difficult thing. And, you know, for Lyon, right, like, if he could have a year where he could have a real shot to be a starter, like, that would do so much for his career, right? So, all of that plays in, I think, to the mental load some of these guys are dealing with. And I think all the goaltenders are dealing with it because they feel, for all of them, their careers are on the line this year. I mean, UPL has to know that his recent performances haven't been good enough. He continues to play like that. He's going to get the Georgiev treatment. So, and then for Lyon, he desperately wants to be a starter and have one opportunity to make starter money at some point. Probably. I don't know if he's good enough to deserve that, but, so. There's nobody here with, I think if you're looking at a guy mentally who's probably going to be the healthiest, it's going to be Ellis. Yeah, I just think you need to decide what you want to do, and you need to try to get value for one guy who you're going to move. I don't want to let Ellis go either. I understand the dilemma that the team is facing. Like, you value everybody. But you also have Devon Levi, who's really, really struggled in Rochester this year. Ever since those trade rumors, whenever they came out, right? Whenever those trade rumors came out, since that time, Devon Levi has gone absolutely in the tank. I don't know what his current numbers are at the moment, but he really, really, really was struggling earlier this month. So you have like a situation where you have all these goalies, but nobody's playing that well. I think Colton Ellis is the guy, honestly, that we would want to roll with. But this organization is not very quick to admit its mistakes, This is an organization that holds on to guys very long when it has committed a lot to them. Logan, hey Logan, how you doing? I don't know if they're indecisive. I guess they are indecisive, but they're indecisive with the guys they really, really value, right? I gotta just. Sorry, I'm trying to find his most recent statistics right now. That's why I'm not looking up so much at the moment. Yeah, so goals against. So Levi right now, 2.91 goals against, save percentage .898 on the year. I mean, that's fine at the NHL level. That would be like okay, but not at the AHL level. That's not good enough at all. Like, you can't have a sub-9 at the AHL level and be considered for the NHL in a lot of respects. You need to be one of the top 10 guys in the league, like Ellis was last year, or Levi was last year, to really have an opportunity. Now, that being said, he could turn it around, but he's given up his last 8 games. He's given up 5 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals. His best performance of that stretch was against Cleveland, where he stopped 37 of 39. Now, without watching, it's tough to tell how much of that's on him, but you can't be giving up that many goals per night, He's only had 3 games this year where he's allowed fewer than 2 goals. Well, right now he's choking in an AHL goal, so it's not great. There's another one, though. There's another one where the Sabres screw up the development, right? Like, I understand he came up, he had a very hot start, and I understand that there was a lot of positive feelings because that was right when we were, potentially we could have made the playoffs there, and we didn't, obviously. But there's a lot of positive feelings towards him because he almost got us there. And the organization, when they feel like they've hit someone, they're like, we finally hit this guy. We're going to hang our hat on this guy. This is proof that our rebuild is working. And then they just put too much on the guy and break them. And that's what happened to Levi. Ellis has been developed for us by an organization that's good at developing goaltenders. So, like, all the hard work's been done by St. Louis. So all we have to do is just not screw him up at the NHL level. Although our first action is to get a 3 goalie rotation, so I don't know if we're doing so well with that either. think he's pressing just a little bit, right? Tage Thompson wants the Olympic team. And I think that's led to him pressing and getting more frustrated than usual. There was a stage early in the season, right, where I think his shooting percentage was like 2 or 3%. Like after the first 10 games or so. I want to see what his actual shooting percentage on the year is. I mentioned yeah, I mean, he's just a little off. And when you're just a little off, it's hard to get right because it's the most frustrating thing in the world. You're like, it's tough to work out of. And then you start pressing because you know you're off. You're like, well, how can I fix this? Yeah, so shooting percentage right now this year is 13.3, which is a little bit below his average. Last year, his shooting percentage was 18.2, and in 21, 22, 22, 23, 15% or thereabouts. 23, 24, which was an off year for him, he was shooting 11.8%. So a little bit similar to probably that season. So more the 23-24 season in terms of that. The startling thing with Tage Thompson is just how much he has been shut down on the power play. Like 21-22, 22-23, he scored 30 power play goals. 23-24, 24-25, 25-26, he has scored a combined 18 power play goals. Yeah, he's rebounded a bit. I was thinking it was bad too. Like, first 10 games of the year, maybe even the first 12 games of the year, he was shooting up until the last sequence, up until that Utah game, he was, I believe, shooting under 10%. So I'm back to early Tage Thompson numbers. Back to the Tage Thompson that nobody wants to remember, but he was kind of playing like it in general. I just think a lot of pressing. If I would have to give it some rationale, I think he's just pressing way too much. So how's the rest of the division doing today? Take a look at that here. Boston and Detroit are in their showdown, if you can call it that. Billy Scape, you're in the right place, I guess. Like, let's believe that we can win. Let's believe that we can come back. But for the most part, it's not been a very happy game thus far, though we played okay. All right, but welcome in, Billy. Good to see you today. So, Boston beating Detroit 1-0 in the third period. Toronto putting the sword to Pittsburgh 5-1 through 2 periods right now. Well, that's the extent of the games happening now. Tampa Bay beat the New York Rangers 4-1. They're the hottest team in the Eastern Conference without a doubt. Colorado destroyed Montreal 7-2 earlier today as well. So, teams around us are kind of winning at the moment, which isn't great. But, at some point, we just got to win something, or it's not going to matter. Yeah, it's still within reach. Just that tuck turnover, man. Oh, that's tough, Chris. You had the playoff droughts together. You're at like a quarter century, right? Almost. Now, Wings started off so good this year, didn't they? But they've fallen back to earth a little bit, or a lot. I mean, they're another team. Really, they have the high-end talent, and they have some mid talent, but it's a very similar story to the Sabres in a lot of respects. Oh, it's basically just Dylan Larkin, but I mean, he is high-end enough. Yeah, I think so. Well, maybe they'll catch some kind of hot streak and end up doing well. The team I really can't figure out this year is Boston. They still do not have a overtime loss. Every game they've either won or just straight up loss. They do have a shootout loss, but in the preseason, that's their only shootout loss. They have no overtime loss. I cannot figure Boston out. They're super streaky as well. So it's our division is just a lot of streaky teams. Like you look even at Tampa Bay, they were super streaky. Start the year really bad. Now they're on a roll. Pretty much the only team in the division that has been consistent this year has been Ottawa. It's going to come. One of these years, everyone's going to make the playoffs. Sabres are going to figure it out at some point in the future. Or they'll just luck into it one year. Either way, we'll take it when it happens. But I never want to see the Kaprizov we were seeing there for the Wild in the first 10 minutes of this game. That was not fun. It was fun to watch, but man, he was on fire. Yeah, look, if it gets us in the playoffs, I don't care how it happens. Go ahead and update this second here. Get us into the second. Well, it's not centered, but that's about the best I can do. I think I can lock it and then just... Every time I change the info, the size changes. So, you know, I have a lot of technical problems here on a stream-to-stream basis. I know, Kat. Holding my cat right now. He's finally gotten curious enough to come over and say, "What the heck are you doing?" Usually I'm recording in my office, but today, my home office, but today, for various reasons, I'm in the living room. So the cats are free and wild at this point. Are you just going to sit on me now? Is that how we're going to do this? Because now you've made the other one jealous. Oh, not the claws. Go down. He clawed into my legs. I wasn't even doing anything. I really got to cut their nails. So we're about to get back to action here. Cats notwithstanding. Yeah, you know, I'm a fan of both. But my wife is totally a cat person, so we just decided to go with the cats. I grew up with both. I like both. But cats sometimes disappoint you. Sabres coming into the zone as the game starts again. They get a shot on Gustafsson. It's taken to the back wall. And now the Sabres have possession of it and bring it in to the zone one more time. So 19:26 to go, just underway, second period. Kozak gets it down to Benson. Benson brings it around the zone. Back to the point. Shot by Dahlin is blocked down. And no, well, Quinn had a chance. There was a rebound sitting there, but he couldn't find it. If he'd found it, he would have had an excellent opportunity. Wild bring it into the zone. Pass back across. Good save. Colton Ellis has to go across the crease there to stop Johansson. A really, really nice opportunity. And now they reload again in front of the net. Zucker flips it out to center ice as he gets control. It's a nice flip. Lands right in front of McLeod, but he had three Wild around him. Couldn't do anything with it. The Wild bring it up ice one more time here. Kaprizov is not able to control it, though. And the Sabres are able to get their sticks on the puck and get it back into the Minnesota end where the Wild recover. The Wild trying to bring it up ice here, and they do a bit. Work it down low to the Wild. Now in the Buffalo end, Dahlin is able to get control. He sends it out to center ice. The puck gets through Spurgeon and goes all the way to the back wall. Spurgeon picking it up now for the Wild. He brings it up to center ice, and he throws it down low. A bit of a dump there. This top line for the Wild has been very good in this one so far. Sabres throw it down ice the other way. Ostlund tries to lay a hit on Brodin in front of the net. Chance in front. Good save by Gustafsson. Ostlund throwing the body around, generating a chance there. And Tuch with a good chance in front of the net, but Gustafsson says no. And now there's going to be a penalty coming up on Buffalo, as there's a bit of a takedown there that may be on Tuch for a takedown, or maybe on someone else. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be on Alex Tuch. He took down his man there as the Sabres were trying to regain control of the puck. So the Sabres will go to their first penalty kill of the night, 17:46 to go in the second. And it's a bit of a check on Kaprizov. I don't know what exactly they're calling there. I don't know if he had the puck or not. But not the most egregious foul in the world, if it is even that. But regardless, it sends the Wild to a power play. So the number 2 penalty kill for the Sabres is going to be without one of their best penalty killers in Alex Tuch. The Sabres are going to have to find a way to kill this one off and keep this a 1-goal game, keep themselves within striking distance of the Wild. The Wild win the draw, back to the point. They have a chance down low. Shot is a good shot there from the high circle by Kaprizov, but he loses it now out of the zone after recovering the rebound. The Wild boast the number 4 power play in the NHL, a very, very good unit with a lot of high-end skill. One of their key aspects of this team is they just play good defense 5-on-5, and then they find ways to get goals in the power play, and then they go from there. They're cycling it around the zone. Now, good chance in front, off the crossbar. No, they say it stayed out. They had Ellis beaten. I'm not sure if that stayed out, but the referee said it did. Pass down low, chance. Save made by Ellis. I don't know if he saw it, but he got a pad on it. Some really good chances there by the Wild. And somehow the puck stays out of the net. Sabres are going to have to find a way to take advantage if they can get out of this power play situation with the game still at a 1-goal chance, because there were 2 really good opportunities for the Wild to make the Sabres pay there. The Wild regain in their own end. They try to bring up a counterattack. There is 51 seconds to go on this power play, 16:34 to go in the second period. Byram takes control of the puck, tries to ring it out and around, and succeeds. Puck goes down the ice. The Wild repossess at center ice with 40 seconds to go on their man advantage. Bring it into the zone. Try and carry it. Now looking back to the blue line. Keeping it in possession in the circles is Johansson. Johansson to the point for Boyum. Boyum looking around for someone. He's checked by Quinn, but not very hard. Quinn falls down on his own. Boyum takes a shot in. Get a man in front. 2 really good opportunities, but nobody can get a stick on the puck. Good job by the Sabres tying up because that pass in front was right at the doorstep, and Ellis was back in his net. Sabres defensemen have to do the work there to tie up. There's a shot coming in from the wing. Ellis is able to corral it, gives up the rebound, but Sabres are able to sweep it out to center ice and complete the kill. Tuch rejoins the fray. 15:38 to go here in the second period. The Wild trying to bring it up ice here, and Mallenstein trying to bother that attempt to bring it up. Puck is behind Ellis now as Timmins tries to get possession. Throws it to McLeod. McLeod's able to skate it out ice and get it ahead to Mallenstein. Beck Mallenstein brings it into the Minnesota zone. Mallenstein stops at the red line of the zone. Samuelson is pinching, and the puck goes to the other side of the goal. Faber sends it up ice for Minnesota. They try to bring it across the red line, but are held up by the Sabres by a combination of Doan and Ostlund, who are now have tied up just near this blue line entry to the Minnesota end. Thompson gets it free, works it to Samuelson, who brings it into the zone. Back to Thompson. Thompson skates it. A nice little nifty backhand move in front, and a good opportunity, but Gustafsson is able to hold and make the save. The Sabres were able to turn the tide a little bit there after killing off the penalty, and they're showing that dangerous chance. It was a tremendous, wow, chance in front. They're showing the replay, and this save by Colton Ellis, blocker save, deflected into Timmins and nearly went into the goal. But Colton Ellis, what a save there with his blocker. And then good job by Kozak to tie up his man to stop another good opportunity later on there. So good work by Ellis, good work by Kozak, and that kept the game a 1-goal game. Colton Ellis saving the day there. Good job by the netminder, and good job by the Sabres penalty kill as they're able to keep this a 1-goal game. Now the Sabres have to find an equalizer. 14:42 to go here in the second. Puck is sent down the ice, and Bryson is held and tied up there behind the Sabres goal in the Buffalo zone. Wild working it around the zone here. Back to the point where they lose possession of the puck. Tage Thompson has it and holds it. And then his pass across to Bryson is not handled. Bryson has to take a second to gather himself. Gets it to Dahlin, who gets it to Doan, who rings it around the Minnesota end. Oslin back to the point. Quick shot comes in. Goes really wide of the goal. And back out and down the ice. Sabres have it in the Buffalo zone. Byram falls down trying to make the play up ice. And he's ultimately able to get it up ice. Dangerous slip there. But it didn't amount to any chance for Minnesota. 13:52 to go. The Sabres get control at center ice. McLeod brings it down. Tries to get by his man. He cannot. The puck goes behind the Minnesota goal. And then the Wild take possession and try to work it up ice themselves. They get it just across the blue line. But Zuccarello has to bring it back in. Sabres are doing a good job gumming up the neutral zone right now. There's no easy pathway through for the Wild. Really, I would say good defensive effort there by the combination of the forwards and the defense in the neutral zone for Buffalo. Power brings it up ice, and it is sent down. McLeod hustling in, gets it behind the net, and plays it around, and then tries to play it back to the point. Timmins was able to poke it back in to prevent a Wild breakout, but not able to gain control of the puck. Ellis has to play from his own crease. He smacks it away, gets it to, I believe that's Peyton Krebs, who's going to bring it into the zone himself, takes it to the back wall himself, but not able to get possession of the puck. As now it is held up on the boards. Dunn able to get possession. Malenstein there as well. Dunn kicks it forward to Krebs. Krebs tries to find the pass out. Can't find anybody. And now Dunn has possession. He is holding it there in the offensive zone. Back to Krebs. Krebs finds Dahlin with some space. Dahlin tries to make a man miss instead of shooting, and he ends up losing possession of the puck. It would have been a tough shot, but he tried to get a better angle and ultimately lost the puck. I would have rather seen him take maybe the not-so-good angle chance there. But as it stands, the Sabres are able to get possession. They have a chance in front. Rebound cannot be held by Malenstein. Dunn is getting destroyed in front of the net, but he's holding his own. Shot comes in from the point. It's deflected. Dahlin recycles it back to Malenstein at the point. Malenstein shot deflected in front. It's loose in the crease. Still loose in the crease. But the Wild are able to scoot it away. 12:05 to go as the Wild clear the zone. Only out to center ice, though, where Samuelson takes possession of the puck. Gets it to Dahlin. Really good pressure from the Sabres here. They have taken momentum back since killing the penalty. Chance in front. Benson couldn't get a good angle on the goal. And the puck is cleared once again. Bowen Byram takes possession. The Wild get a change in. The Sabres going to try to hit him. Dahlin shuffles it forward to Thompson. Thompson loses possession of the puck, but it goes deeper into the zone, where Dahlin throws a big check behind the net. The puck is gone, but the Sabres get possession of it. Thompson at the point. Thompson with a shot. Deflected down low. Rebound chances there. Benson cannot corral it, but he eventually does, and they blow it dead there and maybe out of the zone. Boy, the Sabres were buzzing there for the last 3 or 4 minutes, but not able to get anything on it. Go to commercial. 11:28 to go in the second. 2-1 Minnesota in front. Really good shifts there by the Sabres, turning the tide after the penalty kill. So that's a case there where you have a goaltender who makes saves he's not necessarily supposed to make, but he makes them, and then the team is able to build momentum off of that. I mean, that is exactly what you need from your goaltender. And that's what the Sabres haven't been getting from their goaltending in the last couple of games. But Ellis makes the big save there. And so now and so from there, the Sabres just have to keep on going. Right? It's a matter of you had some good shifts, you got some momentum going back maybe, but now you got to keep it going. You got to find ways to play complementary hockey and get it to continue. They have to find a way to get a goal. I mean, that's the bottom line. A lot of those chances are right there. They're just one more play away from getting it past Gustafsson. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's hard. Like mentally, you feel like you're doing everything right for a few shifts, but you're not getting rewarded for it. But being able to stick with it is the really important thing. I don't care as long as we tie the game. I mean, I don't care how you find ways to win. As long as you find ways to win, I take any kind of goal. If someone can get a good, solid shot in, that's great because it'll do wonders for their confidence. But if it's a dirty goal or just some accident, we'll take it again. I mean, our first goal was an accident. Let's get one more accident and make this a tie game again. Face-off coming in the Minnesota end. The draw is tied up there on the boards, and then it goes down low where the Sabres have men on the puck. McLeod's able to come away with it back to the point. Down low to Byram. Byram takes it behind the net. Good speed there has Bowen Byram. He gets it back to McLeod, who's at the point, who chips it over to Power. A lot of movement, but Power turns it over. Owen Power breaks the chain. Not many people are going to be surprised by that, but then he makes a good defensive play to recover. And then Zucker with a bad pass there to McLeod. And the Sabres got to just... Sabres gotta put these plays together. You can't have these chains going and then have one guy break it. And when you're only as good as your weakest link, you can't have your weakest link screw up. You gotta make your weakest link a bit stronger. Connor Timmins now with the puck for the Sabres as they bring it out of their own end. 10:33 to go. Second period. Puck down low. Austin tied up with Doan and a Wild player there. Puck back to the point. Bryson. I don't know why he's trying to pass it to Timmins' foot. Timmins was already breaking towards the net. And Bryson's just like, I'm going to throw it across to nobody. But the puck, Austin does a good job tying it up behind the Minnesota end. Works it back to the point. Bryson takes a shot. It was blocked off by the Wild. They try to clear the zone and do. Connor Timmins is not able to possess the puck. It's a turnover. Bryson does nothing. Colton Ellis saves the day with his stick. It's good he did because the two defensemen could not. Terrible work there by Timmins and Bryson. Almost give up a half breakaway and a goal, and then a shot from his knees coming in by Tarasenko nearly catches Ellis, but he's able to make the save. Colton Ellis coming up big when needed. Connor Timmins brings it back into the zone. I think we'd be all better off if Connor Timmins would just leave the ice now for a little bit. And he does. Samuelson out there now. Malenstein is tripped, but there's no call coming. Or is there a call from the backside? Yes, it looks like there is. So perhaps the Sabres going to a power play here. Beck Malenstein broke out of that scrum and was tripped as he did. And so it looks like Sabres may have a man advantage when we come back. 9:28 to go here in the second. I'm amazed sometimes with these. I feel like our defensemen have no stick skills. I have not. They just have a tendency to whiff when trying to get control of the puck. It's really frustrating. We know that. I mean, Bryson against the Devils, he had a play where he was pinching. He tried to break up a play, a breakout, and he just whiffed with the stick. And then he was totally out of position, gave up a 2-on-1. I believe that was the fifth goal, if memory serves, in that game. So from here, and then Owen Power, man, you're buzzing in the offensive zone, and Power just plays it right to a defenseman. Nearly gives up an opportunity. He did recover, but that's the stuff that drives you crazy as a fan. When the team is going pretty well, and then just one mistake. Sabres have to avoid those poor mistakes there. They talk about it a lot. On MSG, right, you have, and Biron talks about it a lot. He talks about the details. Now, the Sabres are not necessarily the most detail-oriented team, but they need to find ways to be detail-oriented. Being detail-oriented just means you can't make bad mistakes. you got to make sure you're finishing your plays. You got to make sure you're scoping your plays out properly. So the Buffalo Sabres are going to have a power play. This is a power play opportunity that is won because the Sabres are doing really good work in the offensive zone in terms of tying up the puck, in terms of winning puck battles. They're showing Colton Ellis' stick save on Hartman right now. That was an outstanding save on his part. Was willing to put the stick out there and swipe the puck away. He's been really outstanding since the early troubles there. Sabres win the draw. Thompson and Dahlin working together. Thompson has it in the high circle. Works it down low to Doan. A shot, and I don't know if someone got a stick on it or not, but it just went over the net. Dahlin to Thompson one more time. They reload and reset. Thompson working it down low to Benson. Benson, chance in front. They were crashing the net. There were 4 guys right in the house. But the shot once again went wide of the goal. Now they work it back to Dahlin. A shot, traffic in front, rebound is there, but the Wild are able to swipe it away. Doan was there but could not find that rebound. Sabres continuing to work with it down low. Doan and Thompson on top of the play. Zucker gets the puck. Now works it back to the point to Dahlin. Power play looking really, really dangerous right now. Zucker has a pass to Thompson. It cannot handle it. Goes through his legs there. Thompson able to work it back to Dahlin. Dahlin to Thompson. You'd like to see him get some work on the other side as well. Zucker pass, tried to get it back to the... Dahlin had moved down to the top of the circles, tried to get it to the top of the circles, but it was blocked away by the Wild. Quick play back as Ellis sends it all the way up to Benson, but they say it's offsides. Benson was not altogether on the blue line when that hit him. That could be very true. We have a lot of opportunities to do it, so the percentage probably ends up looking better in the end, just because teams are not going to score on all their opportunities. But they also get a lot of practice at it. I don't think we're the worst team in the league when it comes to turnovers. It's just we tend to turn it over in critical times and critical areas of the ice. The longest drop pass in history gets the Sabres into the offensive zone there. 8:04 to go in the second period. 34 seconds on the power play. Second unit is out there now as Quinn has it in the circles. Sends it back to the point. Then down low to Quinn. Quinn to Byram. We give and go. Quinn tries to walk it in front of the net. I think he would have been better served just to one-time it when he got it in the circle instead of trying to walk it. But he walked it in. The save was made by Gustafsson. Sabres are pinching there. In that case, Bowen Byram was pinching so much that he knocked the puck away from Tuck, and the Wild have possession now. They bring it into the zone. Short-handed opportunity. Shot low on Ellis. Rebound opportunity is turned aside. In that case, Bowen Byram pinched his own man. The Sabres come back with a quick shot to close up this power play, which is held by Gustafsson. The Sabres now have 20 shots in this game. Only 1 goal to show for it. The Wild have 18 shots and 2 goals. Power play is now over. They're showing that short-handed chance, and that was good work by Colton Ellis to make the initial save, and a good job by Bowen Byram to get the puck away as it bounced up on him. And then Tuck was able to finish that power play off with a pretty solid shot. Gustafsson didn't totally see it, but he made a good glove save on it. So back to even strength here. 7:20 to go in the second period. Minnesota brings it into the Buffalo zone. Buffalo gets possession, tries to clear, cannot clear. They turn it over. Kaprizov in with possession, working it down low. And now the Sabres turn it over right in front of the net. Quick shot deflected. Ballenstein that time with the turnover right in the net. They had bodies in front, so it wasn't such a high danger turnover. And now Minnesota brings it in. One more time, Yurov behind the net. Yurov trying to find an outlet. He gets checked hard into the boards by Samuelson. They're going to call him for boarding. It was unfortunate timing. Yurov had gone down at the same time Samuelson went for the check. And probably that will be a boarding call. There's a little extra shove at the end there, which is what I think they're going to get Samuelson on. It was a really, not a heavy one, not an egregious play, but just a little extra there. The penalties the refs have decided to call in this game have been fairly closely called, I would say. But they're doing it very evenly as well. So they tend to give a power play right after they give a power play. So And not a totally unfair performance by the officials so far. Minnesota goes to the power play, 6:44 to go. Their first power play, they got 3 shots and a lot of dangerous chances. The second power play starts out with the puck being tied up at the blue line. And oh, wow, they're able to get it down low. Almost find Boldy right out of that scrum there, but it was a bit too far for him. The Sabres are able to win the puck battle, take it out to center ice as Alex Tuch. Tuch brings it down low into the zone, and he rings it around the boards in the Minnesota end. That's going to take 30 seconds away. And then Tuch, good job on the forecheck, forces the puck out of play in the Minnesota end. And so that's going to force a face-off down there. So good work there, Alex Tuch, there on the penalty kill, making it so that the Sabres will have a little bit easier time of the last minute 29. At least we're not being outshot. Well, we weren't being outshot against the Devils, and I'm not sure if that was much of a silver lining when you lose 5-0. I'd say in general, the play has favored the Sabres. They just haven't gotten the goal. But the Wild have gotten the quick chances. That puck was played out of the zone by Minnesota, and they said it was played out of the zone unimpeded, did not get anything on the way out. So that is going to even things up. Alex Tuch basically single-handedly killing that penalty himself. So I don't know if that makes up for the goal, but that he gave up basically, but it does help. So it'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 28. This is not Sabres' forte. When it's less than 5 aside, even strength, the Sabres have not been very good this year, be that 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 in overtime. It has not been pleasant, but the Sabres are going to try to get something here. McLeod brings it into the zone, shoots it wide of the goal, tries to recover the rebound, cannot, and they're going to have to give up possession here. Oh, wow, poke check there by McLeod right in front of the goal. He flew back in on the forecheck and really gummed up Minnesota's breakout chance there, but Minnesota does eventually break it out. Bowen Byram tries to tie up. His man can't do it. Johansson, back to the point. Opportunity there. Zuccarello tied up down low. That's not Kaprizov. That's someone else. And now there's a turnover. And now McLeod, he's doing a great job here, 4-on-4. Leaves it for Quinn. A shot save made. Gustafsson. I'm not entirely sure what happened on that one. Puck went up and out of play. The puck actually ended up in the back of the net. A Wild player threw it in there. But puck was not gloved. It went off him and up and out of play, came back down. And so about 5 minutes to go here in the second period. And we will head to a commercial. Score is 2-1 in favor of Minnesota. That Devils game was not very pleasant to watch or enjoy. It never, even when the Sabres were generating a lot of chances in that game, it never felt like they had any modicum of control. Like, it felt like the Devils had that game from start to finish, even though we outshot them by like 20. It never felt like the Sabres had that game stabilized at any point. That's true, and you know, I honestly think even though the shots are a lot more even in this game, I like the game the Sabres have played a lot more in this one. I feel like they've been more competitive and more structurally competitive than they were against the Devils. I feel like outside of the top line for Minnesota and outside of the absolutely terrible Tuch turnover, I feel like the Sabres have been better in a lot of respects in this game. Obviously, the Minnesota power play is very dangerous. They had a really good power play, and they've had some good counterattacking chances off of our mistakes. But I feel like Minnesota's built absolutely everything in this game off of the Sabres' mistakes. So the answer to that is keep doing what you're doing and stop making so darn many mistakes. It's pretty simple. Oh, it was a post. Okay, that's why. It was a crossbar. So Quinn got the crossbar on that. Maybe got the mask too? Maybe he went mask crossbar. It was a pretty good shot by Quinn. Quinn has been finding good positions on the ice a lot more frequently in recent games. I think McLeod and Quinn have developed into a bit of a connection there, and I think Zucker plays very well with Quinn as well. I think, Quinn's been a disappointment for a lot of folks, but I think when you get him the right people, he does fairly well. You got to hope anyway. That's another development story for another time. Buffalo Sabres working it up ice here. McLeod brings it in the zone. A really good stick work there. Has Owen Power. Power a shot. It's blocked off. But McLeod drew all four Wild to him there, and it really opened up the zone for Owen Power. Power was still able to find a way to get his chance blocked. But, you get what you get there. Sabres 15 seconds on the power play. They're not really able to set up with it. Thompson is held up as he brings it in the zone. Zucker's able to get possession of it. And then Benson tried to glove it, took his eye off the puck like an NFL receiver, tries to take his eye off the ball and run with it. So he obviously didn't maintain possession. And now the Sabres, as we get back to even strength, Bowen Byram is stripped coming out of the box. Shot comes in. Just stripped right out of the box there. He has to know, that guy's standing up. He's ready to go. You see the door open, and you still skate right towards it. That's what I mean. Situational awareness. The Sabres do not have that particular quality in abundance. Benson, Zucker, and Benson playing with it here in the Minnesota end. Thompson is behind the net. He's got it out to Benson. They lost control of the puck. And now Boldy for Minnesota has control, tries to send it around the zone. The Wild are having a tough time getting it out of their own end, but there they find the outlet to Boldy, who brings it in, makes a move. He's stripped of the puck by Byram. Good strip there. And gets it around to Dahlin. Dahlin up ice, and Mallenstein is able to get it forward to Benson. Benson to Krebs down low, but Gustafson's able to get a pad on it, and Mallenstein ties it up in the corner. Krebs comes over to reinforce. Dunn comes down to reinforce, but the puck was gone by the time Dunn got there. And now the Wild on a breakout opportunity here. They bring it into the zone. They're tied up a little bit. And the puck is now being moved out by Buffalo. It's chipped in by Dunn. Goes in heavy on the forecheck. And then Mallenstein joins him, and they're able to win the puck free, but nobody's able to get control of it. 2:39 to go here in the second period. Minnesota brings the puck out. It's sent right back in and then out again. Austin got his skate on it. And now Buffalo has time and space as teams are changing. Samuelson throws it down low. Alex Tuck picks it up, tries to pick it up. It went a little deep, ties up Middleton. Austin and Tuck tying up now in the corner. Everyone's been willing to tie up tonight. It's something that's been really nice to see. Power, a shot from the point, blocked, gets it back, works it to his partner, and his partner leaves it back for Power. Power shot, and it is gloved by Gustafson. He's able to find it in traffic. And with that, 2:02 to go in the second, Minnesota still leads 2-1. Shots are 22-18 in favor of the Sabres. And you can see by some of these reactions, there is a little bit of frustration building. I can understand it. You have now generated 64 shots in 5 periods, and you have 1 goal. And at the same time, you basically handed the other team their goals. So it's really, the frustration builds, but you got to keep with it. You can't lose your focus. You got to keep playing in all quarters of the ice, and you just keep working, and you hope you get one. I believe if they keep playing like this, they're going to get rewarded at some point, as long as they don't have any more errors defensively, which, that's a big ask for these guys. Byram in a puck battle. He's able to win control of the puck, then he loses it again. Minnesota ultimately able to come out in the Buffalo zone with possession. But Byram ties right back up behind the net. He's been battling hard in this game. He just is losing a lot of possession battles. Faber sends it down low. Timmins is beat to the punch by Strum. That fourth line for Minnesota out there now throwing bodies against the Sabres defense. So now you have Ogren. Ogren throws a shot on goal. Ellis makes a save. Can't find the rebound. Strum has it. Strum plays it forward a little bit. Brodin turns it over. The Sabres coming back out with a minute to play in the period on the counterattack. Quinn loses possession of the puck, though, as he tries to bring it in, but he's able to get it back and send it down low. Sabres bring the forecheck with McLeod, and McLeod is not able to win the puck. The Wild try to work it back out of the zone, but the Sabres get possession in their own end. Puck is played forward. It is sticked along in center ice. The Wild able to control it, and they work it around their own defensive end. 34 seconds to go. Now Tyson Kozak in on the forecheck. He gets control of the puck. He sends it wildly down into the zone. And now the Sabres have work behind the net. Benson, chance in front. Very sharp angle opportunity. I don't even think, was Thompson trying to shoot or just trying to bank it? I don't know, but he was half behind the net when he shot it. If that was a shot, it was the most low-danger shot of all time. And now Minnesota, 10 seconds to play in the period, goes down in the Sabres' end. 4 seconds to go. They try to get the puck up. It is on the stick of Kozak. Kozak ties up. He's knocked down, and that'll end the second period with the score 2-1 in favor of Minnesota. Buffalo 23 shots to Minnesota's 19 shots, but we are in the same place we were after one. The Wild hold a 2-1 lead over the Buffalo Sabres. So, I mean, they kept at it. You cannot complain for lack of effort in that period. The Sabres kept at it. They kept fighting. They kept digging. They just could not find a goal. Colton Ellis played very, very well. Had a couple big stops. The defense was in a mixture of turning the puck over and not turning the puck over. But at the end of the day, it is 2-1 in favor of the Wild. At least it didn't get worse. Yes, Chris, at least it didn't get worse. For sure. Look, we'll take it. We'll take it. I mean, look, this is a team that's won 6 straight. This is a team that just beat the Colorado Avalanche. This is an extremely hot hockey team we're playing, and we are in a position where we can still get this game if we come out and put some pucks in the net in third period. Oh, that's a big one right there. What's that? Yeah, we're still in a 1-goal game, and as long as you're in a 1-goal game, when there's life, there's hope, right? We should be fine as long as Ruff doesn't. Well, if Ruff pulls the goalie, it's an instant goal. So, for the other team. I haven't even looked that up, but what is our... We haven't scored 6-on-5 this year, so I think we've only given up. Yeah, I don't know if there's any way to track that stat, but I know that it's bad. We haven't scored a goal on 6-on-5 at all this season, and I only know we've given up a bundle. Yeah, over 11, it would have to be, right? And we haven't scored, so we'd be minus 11 in 6-on-5 situations. Like, every time they give up a goal, every single time. Well, Toronto made a statement in this game against Pittsburgh. They went on the road and they beat the Penguins 7-2. Detroit and Boston is the worst possible scenario for us because they went to overtime. They both will pick up a point. I guess if it's an overtime with Boston, Boston's going to win. That's the way it's gone this year for sure. So, yeah, not good news across the division for the Sabres. So it's really another case where they got to start finding ways to get points. You can't sit on no points forever. Otherwise, you end up where we did last year with the season over by the time the new year comes around. I know you should do that. If you're a Wings guy, when the Wings have five shots in over 5-0 in overtime. The shots. I see that Rasmussen scored with under 2 minutes left in the game to tie that up for the Red Wings. So that's great. Good for them. The Cats are getting restless. I'm getting a little restless too. Like, would just like to see the efforts pay off and the efforts not be derailed by just bad mistakes, you know? Hits in this game are fair. Well, I actually don't know because the app I use there does not track the hits very well. Like, it's always wrong. Try to pick up some stats here. See exactly where we're going in this game. See exactly what's going well or what's not going well. If there's anything surprising. I don't think there's going to be anything too surprising. I think what we see with our eyes is pretty much what's happening in this game. So shots on goal, 22-19, obviously. Minnesota is winning the face-off battle. They've won 21 of 40. The Sabres have won 19 of 40. Hits are 11-11. The Wild have blocked 8 shots to the Sabres 2 blocks. And giveaways, yeah, this is where we're losing the game. The Sabres have 14 giveaways. The Wild have 8. And a lot of those are unforced. The Wild only have 4 takeaways, so that is 10 unforced giveaways on the part of the Sabres. The Sabres have 3 takeaways to the Wild's 8 giveaways, so that's 5 unforced giveaways by the Wild. So 10 unforced giveaways, that is why we are losing. Like, it's pretty simple. And I think Colton Ellis has bailed them out a lot on some of those giveaways. The reason this game is even close is because Colton Ellis has done some really nice things in net as well. So for the Sabres, really, this third period, you got to see some desperation out of them. Yes, you're playing a really good team. Yes, they're a team that has won their last 6. Yes, they're doing very, very, very well. But you got to get points. Like, you can't go through this 4-game stretch that we're on with 2 points. You got to find a way to get at least 1. You got to find a way to get somewhere close to 4 points. The only way to do that is to come out and win this third period. Well, it'd be nice to see the Bruins get some kind of overtime or shootout loss this year. That 0, when you look at the standings, is just bothersome, really. I'm just looking forward to getting some games back in the division, but we don't do that for a while. Sabres have a stretch coming up here. So we have this home game coming up on Monday against Winnipeg, and then from there it's a road trip. We go to the Flyers, back to Winnipeg, to Calgary, to Edmonton, to Vancouver, to Seattle. Then 2 games back home with the Flyers and the Islanders. Then we're on the road again at the Devils, at the Senators, home against the Bruins. Then we're on the road again at the Blues, at the Stars, at the Blue Jackets. There are only 4 home games between now and January 6th. So it's a stretch there. It's going to be really tough for the Sabres to weather, given that we've only won one road game this year. If that trend continues, this is going to be a really bad run. So got to find a way to get road wins. I don't know how we're going to do that. I don't know how we're going to win games on the road, but we got to find a way to do it at some point here. Honestly, I've barely said Zucker's name tonight. Like, thanks for stopping in, Terrence. Thanks for your comment. Yeah, I don't know where Zucker is. He's been MIA. You know, like, I think the first time I said his name was even like there was maybe 8 minutes to go in the first period. On that line, it has basically been McLeod and Quinn, and then Zucker's been just totally absent. McLeod and Quinn have generated some good chances, but yeah, Zucker's been basically disappeared. I don't know if they're keying on him, if there's something schematically or structurally that they're doing, but I'm sorry to hear that, Chris. That's too bad. Boston is such a frustrating team. Well, you know, we might be able to do you one better, and we might be able to not even get to a shootout for you. God knows if it goes to overtime, we probably won't survive that. You need him to get 3 shots on goal, Terrence? Okay, well, you know, you're in the chat. We like to make parlays hit in this chat, so it could happen. 3 shots on goal from Jason Zucker. Okay, so even if the Sabres blow this game and give up 7 goals in the next period, let's hope that Jason Zucker gets 3 shots so we can at least have some winning going on today. Right? I mean, he's done it before. It seems like the Wild, I'd have to watch more closely, but it seems like the Wild are maybe keying on him. But you're going to get a shot and then a rebound and a shot, get 2 shots just like that. So, who knows? But we're pulling for you, Terrence. We're definitely pulling for you. We hope this works out and you get your parlay again. Devils lost to the Flyers today as well. I mean, I know that was early, but the Flyers won 5-3 over the Devils and their winning streak at 3 games. You could probably feel that coming. It was a pretty even game, 31-31. So, Flyers are doing some nice things this year. They're in a tough division there in the Met, but they're doing some really impressive things. Serves them right. Terrence, I'll never say no to somebody winning money. You know? Whether it's me or someone else, I'll never say no to that. See if I can line this third period up here. Yay. I think if we go to overtime, I'm going to spend 90% of the overtime just trying to center the OT. It's been a frustrating last five periods. It's been a frustrating weekend of streaming. Because we have all the shots in the world. We have a lot of chances, but yeah, that's the thing I'm more annoyed with is the Bruins have somehow managed to get 15 wins this year. It's just ridiculous. They're so streaky that one night they'll look absolutely terrible. Then the next night they'll play a really decent, solid game. I don't know how to square them. You know, and the thing with them is they still have a lot of home games left to play. They've played a lot of road games this year. They're basically the opposite of us. They have a nice little 5-game homestand in December and a nice little 5-game or 4-game homestand in January. They play a lot of home games in January, a lot of home games in December. They're like the Sabres as far as the schedule is concerned there in Boston. I don't do these for every game. This weekend I've done both. There's a schedule on my channel page. My work schedule is really unstable, so it's not like week to week or day to day. Sometimes it doesn't match up with the games, but generally, if it matches up with the games and I don't have like a family event or something, I do the live streams. Yeah. The schedule I have up on the channel page is pretty accurate. Sometimes I have to make changes to it, but I think it's right now the schedule there is all the way up through February is what I have planned. So. I'm glad to hear that, Saber. Thank you very much for the kind words there. Yeah, so please feel free to come back and stop by anytime. We're always happy to have you. Oh, Terrence, thank you very much. I hope that gives you the karma you need to win your parlay. Not that I'm a source of karma. My cat is scratching the wall, and I do not have the ability to stand up and stop him right now. He's in a part of the house that he should not be, and I don't really feel much like yelling at him. It's so frustrating. I can't stop the cat. Nico. Thank you. He's just standing up on the counter, scratching away at the wall like this. Just stop. He never does that. Oh, hey, thanks, Bill. Really appreciate that as well. Yeah, I enjoy doing these, but like... Yesterday's, right? I hadn't done it for like 20 days because my schedule had been so off. So like yesterday's, I had no energy. I couldn't call the game worth a darn. It was rough. Also, it wasn't a very exciting game. So, but I appreciate all the kind words and all y'all stopping by. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My schedule is super unpredictable, so it's a little bit tough. But. The good thing is I have it worked out pretty much that in March and April, I should be able to do most of the games. At least right now, that's the initial plan. December and January and February obviously is going to be a little light. February obviously will be the Olympic break, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle that. But yeah, one of these days. Let's hope. If I can get us to, if we're still here in June, I'm pretty sure the sky will have fallen. But fingers crossed. I crossed my fingers that Norris wouldn't get hurt this year either, and he gets hurt in the first game. So the finger crossing hasn't done very much for us this year. So let's hope. Let's hope the finger crossing karma gets a little bit better. Has anyone been able to figure out what the energy drink combination is for these MSG? Like, has anyone kept a record of it? Because like I've been talking about that when I do these. I want it when they always share the Rise energy drinks. I try to figure out if there's a set combination. I always say that, but I've never taken notes. I really have to start doing that at some point. At this point, you're selling the car for playoff ticket. If they make the playoffs, yeah, like sell whatever you have and go. I'd contemplate getting a flight and buying tickets and flying up there for it. If they were able to do that. But when they do, you know, that's the thing, right? All of this drought is terrible, and it sucks, and it's awful, and it's miserable, and none of us are having fun with the way the team is. But eventually, one day, we live in hope that it's going to break. And when it does break, can you imagine that first playoff game in Buffalo? Can you imagine how that's going to feel for all of us? Like, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be truly, truly awesome. And so, just to get there is the goal at this point, you know? And I feel for a lot of the... I mean, there's fans here. who are young, right? And who haven't even experienced. Like, they were 4 or 5 the last time the Sabres made the playoffs. Growing up in Detroit in the 90s, yeah. Yeah. So you know all about it, right? I tell you, though, I've had my share of playoff fun. It's just at the AHL level with Hershey. But, like, you know, you had the 2000s there. Yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome experience. Yeah, I mean, we did the same in Hershey. We had back-to-back cups in 09 and 10. That was incredible. And it's not an NHL city, but Hershey's a pretty special place. And that was, to experience that, I'm the same as you, Chris. I want that for the Sabres. I want that for this fan base, for this organization. Well, maybe not so much for the organization right now, but for the fan base and for the city. I really, really want that. Same as you. We're back to action here. 19:22 to go, third period. The Sabres are behind their own net, bringing it out. We can live with the dreams of the playoffs. We can stow those for now, because right now we have a hockey game to win. Quinn brings it to the net, takes a shot, goes around, and he throws it to Connor Timmins at the point, who throws it in to the goal. It is deflected away by, I forgot the goalie's name for a second. That's Gustafsson. Deflected away by Gustafsson. And the Sabres trying to set up something in the offensive zone, but they end up not doing any of that, and they have to retreat into the defensive end there. Sabres trying to get their offense going, trying to find the equalizer in this game. Minnesota tries to bring it up ice. It's dumped down. Power plays it back from behind his net. And then McLeod sends it all the way up ice. And then Byram is able to chip it forward. And then from there, Doan comes in on the forecheck. And the Sabres are able to win it free. Doan, pass in front to Power. Oh, he had great position, but he couldn't find it on his stick. He has to play it back to Bryson. Bryson's shot goes off the back wall. Nobody can corral it. And now it goes to Owen Power one more time. He tries to get around his man. He throws a backhand to the back wall. Doan ties up behind the net, and the puck goes free to the corner, where it is tied up once again by Bryson. Bryson's in deep, so you got to be responsible back defensively. Doan still doing a heck of a job there on the forecheck. Power pinch to try to keep that play down low. The Wild are able to break it out a little bit here and change as they motor it into the zone with Zuccarello, not Zuccarello, with their line that's on the ice now. Dunn gets possession of the puck, gets it to Ostland. The Sabres, 17:23 to go in the period, trying to work it up ice. Owen Power has possession of the puck. He's just kind of standing there in his defensive zone circle. Sabres try to organize. They've done a lot more of that in this game, a lot more of that organization, which I really appreciate. I'd like to see that. I think it leads to better, higher quality rushes than just trying to throw the puck up ice, and I think it leads to less takeaways as well, although we have turned the puck over a bundle thus far in this game. Krebs, the fourth line, is out there working pretty hard. They're able to get the puck back to Dahlin. Dahlin's shot in, gets through everybody. And then Samuelson takes a shot, which goes wide of the goal. Dahlin pinches hard and is able to force Minnesota to reorganize as he retreats. A bit of a half change there. Thompson gets knocked down by his own man, and Minnesota is able to possess the puck and dump it in and chase it in. Eriksson in on the forecheck, challenging Samuelson. Then Boldy gets possession of the puck. He is held up by Dahlin. And then Kozak is tying up as well with Johansson. A bit of a slow-paced play. Good job by the Sabres to gum it up in the defensive zone there. Benson throws it up ice. Kozak bodies a check, loses his helmet, so he'll have to get off the ice there. Shot is made there as Minnesota brings it into the zone. Sabres cannot recover to break it back out. Boldy has a chance. Good position. Chance in front by Johansson. It went wide of the goal. A tremendous opportunity in front, which they're not able to bury. And then a one-time chance from Boldy. Great save by Colton Ellis. Puck goes through the crease. Benson recovers it and is able to bring it out to center ice, trying to find McLeod, but just ends up turning it over. However, he is able to get the change. McLeod comes in on the forecheck to ensure that the change goes through. McLeod is out there now, and they're able to get that McLeod line on the ice in full. Minnesota with possession of the puck. They bring it up ice, dump it down. Bowen Byram wheels it around the zone. Zucker turns it over, and the pass goes down low from Minnesota. The Wild, pretty content. They've backed off a little bit. They're very content to just have the offensive zone possession and generate chances from there. Shot comes in from the point, goes wide of the goal. Sabres are able to get possession with McLeod. McLeod throws it up ice and finds Quinn in a crowd. Quinn's going to follow it to the back wall as Gustafsson played it there. And the Wild once again have possession. The Sabres are going to need more possession if they're going to do anything in this third period. 14:45 to go here in the third. Shots are 26-20 in favor of Buffalo. Now, Ellis has looked really solid in this one. The first goal was a little bit not his. Oh, it was really a tough one off a turnover. And the second goal was a big one off a turnover. Just not getting a lot of help on those two. But since that time, he has been a stonewall. He's turned aside a lot of grade A opportunities. And so nice work there by Colton Ellis so far. Sabres really struggling for possession thus far. The Wild have had the lion's share of it. 14:11 to go. Puck goes down low. Ellis tries to make a play with it at the side of his net, and he's able to get it out. Ultimately to Tuch, and then the defenseman falls down. Doan with a shot, and it goes wide of the goal. And it's in? It's in! It's in the goal! The puck is in the back of the net. The Sabres have scored! How? I don't even know. Another lucky bounce, and it's 2-2. 13:59 to go. How did that even happen? Doan took a shot. It went wide of the goal. Did we get another one off the back wall? I have no idea what happened. Shot, yeah, Gustafsson made the save, went off the back wall, and the Wild gloved it into the net. It is a tie game. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Zuccarello just put it in his own goal with his glove. I guess that's why you shoot, but we're tied at 2. That is awesome. So 2 of the ugliest goals you'll imagine from the Sabres, but it doesn't matter. The scoreboard is all that matters. And we have a tie hockey game. 13:55 to go. They're going to have to redo the face-off at center ice. So much happened there. Just, we got the bounce. We've gotten 2 bounces in this game. We've given them 2 goals, but we've gotten puck luck to get those bounces back. I said 2 videos ago, it was the after the Penguins game. I said, you get what you deserve, right? This team has worked hard now for 5 periods. And they deserved that bounce. They deserved the first bounce. They deserved that bounce. But at some point, we're going to have to score a real goal. But you know what? I'll take it. We're playing a very hot team on the road. Less than 14 minutes to go, and we're tied. I mean, this is the exact position you want to be in. Absolutely going to take it. I mean, you have to feel now, if you're the Sabres, that you have a bit of momentum and luck on your side. So put the pedal to the metal. Put the hammer down when we get back to play. This is a very good Wild team. There's no doubt of that. But we've held up with them in this game. I want to see an Ellis shootout? Yeah. Well, we're playing a Western Conference team, so overtime doesn't hurt us whatsoever. So why not? Whatever we have to do to win would be pretty special. But again, I don't want to see us go to overtime because I do not think we can survive a 3-on-3. The only reason we survived that 3-on-3 against Washington where we have our 1 shootout win is because, honestly, UPL played really, really well. I mean, that was a game where 3-on-3, we had 3 guys who were so tired because we couldn't get a line change, they just stood around the zone, and Ellis had to make all the save. I mean, not Ellis, UPL had to make all the save. So, yeah, our 3-on-3 is a disaster. Jason Zucker, that's a good trivia question they put up there on MSG. Jason Zucker has the two fastest goals to start a game in Minnesota Wild history. That's a pretty fun fact when you have both of those goals. So Wild here, 13:45 to go. Wild and the Sabres tied at 2. It doesn't get more exciting than this. If the Sabres can maybe find the back of the net on a real goal here, it'll be Outstanding. Hell, we don't even need a real goal. Just give us a fake goal. Just get us a goal, right? Sabres brought the puck into the zone, got a shot away. Shots are now 28-20 in favor of Buffalo. They are continuing to press their shot advantage. 13:36 left in the third period. Now we can say left in regulation because we have a chance to go beyond regulation. But, the nerves are here. There they are. My nerves have finally arrived. It doesn't matter how many times they break my heart, the nerves still come. I don't know how that happens. You'd think I'd be immune to it at this point. So 13:30 to play. Minnesota brings it into the zone. Puck down low. As Boldy sends it around. And a shot comes in from the point, or pass comes in from the point. They're doing a good job working it around. Brodin sends it back to the center. Sabres are good and active, and they're able to stick the puck away, not let anything come of that chance. And now the puck escapes the zone as the Wild can't handle it. And they are regrouping in their end. 13 minutes to play. The only thing I'm a little worried about is this period the Sabres have not had a lot of puck possession, so it's going to have to be done a little bit differently than how they've done it so far. Wild forecheck has been pretty good to start this period. They've really given the Sabres some trouble, and it looks to me like the Sabres are maybe losing a little bit of their juice, but they have got to find a way to keep this going. They are in this game. Puck is flipped out to center ice, and Quinn comes in, ties up, does a great job of tying up. There's no business making this into a chance. Zucker and Quinn tie up. McLeod is there, and they are able to work it back, but not all the way to the point, and the Wild are able to make a breakout with it. Ellis behind the net. He's able to scoot it towards Dahlin, but not to Dahlin, as the Wild are going to get a chance on that, get a shot on Ellis, but he is there to make the save. It'd be nice to see something like that, but I mean, we did just have the commercial break there, so hopefully during that time they're able to do that same kind of speech. But yeah, timeout would really send that message home, I think. 12:17 to go here in the third. Sabres needing these points desperately. And so, Wild have possession. Now the Sabres have possession tied up on the wall. Krebs, it goes back to Dahlin. Dahlin chips this one out of the zone to Dunn. Dunn sends it to Malenstein. Malenstein tries to work it back to the point. Can do it a little bit. Dahlin takes a shot gloved by Gustafsson. A pretty good glove stop there. It looks like it may be going wide of the goal, but a good chance to get it on net and get a face-off down there. Do not take a penalty at this point, guys. Stand up for yourselves, but do not give a power play to Minnesota. Their power plays look so dangerous tonight. Yeah, a bit of a nasty work there going to the net. Malenstein doing a good job of finding ways to get to the net, as is done. But the Wild are doing a good job holding up in front as well. 11:52 to go in the third. Puck goes to Power. Power. High slot chance there for Doan. Shot gets blocked to the corner. Tuck is there. He throws it to Ostlund. Ostlund skates around. Now he leaves it for Bryson. Bryson fires a shot towards the goal. It is deflected down. Doan picks it up. Doan tries to work it around. Shot chance down low in front is loose. Doan gets taken down in front of the net, and now he's being held down in front of the net. But now he's able to get up and there's no time or space for like clean shots. Everything's going to have to be from up close, but the Wild are doing a good job of taking away mid-range ice. So a lot of those high danger chances you might see from the circle or the slot, there's not a lot of opportunity to make those plays. Bryson tied up now as he tries to exit his own zone as Tranen's coming in on the forecheck for the Wild. The Sabres are able to get a long pass out. They have Kozak cutting to the net. They get a shot away, does Benson, but everyone else overskates it. The Wild come back on a bit of a counter rush here, but Byram's able to play it out of the zone. So the Wild are going to have to go back and regroup a little bit. Kaprasov's able to get a good headman pass up, I believe, to Hartman coming off the bench. That might be another player. And now the Sabres, Kozak in the zone, tries to work it around and up. They're trying to play it. And now the Wild, back in their own end, Brodin trying to slow play down. Brodin sends it over up to center ice. They try to work it through center ice. And takedown there is Brody. And now the pass across the crease. There's a penalty coming up on Buffalo. They have taken the penalty. And Sabres are not able to touch it. Now they do touch it. And so the Minnesota Wild will go to a power play here with 10 minutes to go in the third period. So this is going to be a tough kill for the Sabres. Dahlin does take Boldy's legs out from under him. He didn't mean to do it. Stick just caught his skates. It's kind of a soft one, but that is a penalty. They're going to call that, especially the way they've called this game tonight. They've called the close penalties a lot. So 10 minutes to play here in the third period. Sabres are going to have to kill this off. They aren't losing a penalty killer with Dahlin going there, but they're going to have to find a way to get this done. Lindy Ruff doesn't like the call. Like, I understand why you wouldn't like that call, but it's a call that has been made a lot against the Sabres this year in a critical moment. It's not a call they would make in the playoffs, but that is a regular season type call that referees tend to make. So, 10 minutes in the third, 2 minutes on the power play. Puck is won free there by the Sabres, and they're able to clear the zone. So a good start to the kill as Minnesota has to go back and chase it. Wild bringing this puck up. It's their third power play of the night. They've generated 3 shots, but really all of that was on their first power play. Their second power play, there wasn't much to do with that, as Tuck basically killed it by himself as he forced Minnesota to take a penalty. McLeod did a good job there forcing play back into the Minnesota end. They finally throw the puck into the zone about 30 seconds into this power play. Tied up there and a good clearance. The Sabres off to a good start on this kill as Samuelson's able to clear it there. A minute 22 to go for the Wild. They're going to regroup in their own end. It doesn't get much bigger than this kill for the Sabres. If they want to have a shot of winning this game in regulation, they're going to have to get it done. Boldy brings it into the zone, carries it in. Zuccarello plays it along, but the puck is taken away by Malenstein and sent to the back wall. Excuse me. Wild bringing it up ice here. One more time. Kaprizov brings it into the zone. Gets a good chance from a danger area, but Ellis is able to stand tall and make the save. A really dangerous chance. Zuccarello was able to get that puck to his forehand as he went towards the house there. But Ellis was able to keep his position and stop the shot right in his chest. So good work there, Colton Ellis. He has been really, really good tonight, it has to be said. And, you know, even if they lose, you'd like to see him get the next game. Like, in my mind, the hot hand means the goalie who's playing the best. And if you look at these last 3 games, that would be, from each goalie, that would be Colton Ellis, win or lose. You got to do more than look at whether the team wins or loses. You got to look at who is playing well and just go from there. I know they're trying to give everybody time on rotation, but I think that's going to have a more negative impact than a positive impact. So, Tuck picks up the puck. The Sabres trying to kill this off. 25 seconds to go, and the Sabres are able to clear it. Minnesota really hasn't generated anything other than that Kaprizov chance. 17 seconds on the power play as the Wild bring it up ice. 8:10 to go in the third. And now there's a dangerous look there the Wild had, but they couldn't complete the pass. 4 seconds to go in the power play. The Wild setting up one last chance here. They throw it back to Faber at the point. Takes a shot in. Rebound is there. Ellis is knocked down, but the puck is out of there. And the Sabres are bringing it up ice. Dahlin is up out of the box now. They set up a little bit of a chance. Back. Shot. And it's wide of the goal. A really, really good look to Beck Malenstein from Dahlin as he was coming in late, but he couldn't find the back of the net. That was one of the best looks they've had tonight. And hopefully they don't pay for missing that one. Although, yeah, Beck Malenstein, not a renowned finisher unless he has a breakaway against the Carolina Hurricanes. Other than that, he mostly just knocks pucks into the goal with his hands. So right now, disaster striking there for the Wild as a chance comes in for Kozak. The Minnesota Wild defender fell down, lost his glove, almost lost his stick. Kozak was able to take it into the zone, but Gustafsson able to come up with the save, and we go to commercial. 7:18 to go here in the third. The ice is pretty slippery out there for the Minnesota Wild, you have to say. They haven't been able to keep their feet very much in this one, at least when it's mattered here in the third period. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. 7:10 to go. Sabres, if they can find that goal, that next goal, I have a lot of faith that Colton Ellis can hold on. It's just going to be a matter of finding that goal. And I don't know who's going to find it for us, but you got to hope somebody will. Or we'll just go to a shootout. Nobody will find it, and we'll find a way to hold on, or we'll just lose. One of those is more likely than the others, but you never know. We've had the puck luck tonight. It'd be a shame to let all that puck luck go to waste. But it would also be a mistake to call this performance lucky as well. The Sabres have done a lot to earn their opportunities and their chances in this game. I can't help it. I got to keep the positivity train going. You're right. Oh, how do you know what I meant? How do you know I meant that they were going to lose? Like, maybe I meant they're going to win gloriously in the shootout. Maybe that is the most likely scenario. Oh, Malenstein hit the post on that one. He had Gustafsson beat. He had an area there, but he just hit the crossbar. I could have meant the other thing. All right, I got it. No more negativity. Only positivity from this point on. That's going to be tough, though. So, Sabres have done a pretty decent job protecting the front of their net at times tonight. As a shot comes in off the draw here, there's a bit of a collision. Benson and Kozak both go down, and the puck is cleared out. Now Thompson brings it into the zone, keeps his back to the defender, tries to throw it in front of the net, but there was nobody there to handle that pass. And now Boldy brings it out for the Wild. Boldy and Kaprizov have really put the Sabres down in this game. Boldy has really been dangerous every time he's come in from the second, third period onward. Of course, Kaprizov in the first was absolutely putting us to the sword. So now, 6:38 to go here in the third. Wild try to work the puck up ice. Byram and Timmins combine to try to get possession of the puck. Byram gets it to Timmins. Good support there. They had people positioned and they had outlets available. That's what you like to see. And that's what the Sabres need to do a lot more of across the board. Now, tied up behind the net, the Sabres have their forecheck going. It is done, and Krebs, Malenstein's out there somewhere. Krebs almost lost the puck, was able to gather it, throws it on the goal, but it gets blocked down in front. Krebs throws a check, and that check is able to force the puck down into the Sabres' end with plenty of time for Timmins to get control. 5:59 to go here in the third, and the Sabres work the puck out, up and out of the zone. It is deflected down low. Zucker gets to it. Zucker turns. Zucker tries to hold it, but he's not able to hold it. Puck is flipped out to center ice, where Owen Power is going to take possession of it. Power throws it behind the net to his D partner, and now up ice they go. And they dump it down low again. Quinn comes in on the forecheck. Zucker tries to follow it up. Is not able to. Zucker having a tough night, it has to be said there. Now, 5:23 to go. The Sabres reload one more time. Quinn brings it in. He tries to leave it for McLeod, but he left it for the Wild. The Wild coming back with a 3-on-2 chance. Zucker able to get back to cancel that out. Shot comes in. It's blocked. Redirection is blocked again. Jack Quinn and Matthias Samuelsson combining for a block party there, not letting a chance get through onto the goal. Puck is now played by Gustafsson. He sends it around to the wall. The Sabres nearly take possession. And then there's a hit there by Zucker, a pretty big check there at center ice. And now Tuck brings it into the zone, takes a shot in on Gustafsson, save is made. Just a straight-on shot from the circle, didn't have much chance of getting past, but it's going to lead to a face-off in the Minnesota end. 4:47 to go, shots 30-22 in favor of Buffalo, and we will head to yet another commercial break. This should be the last one, in regulation at least. I mean, for the most part, the Wild have not had a lot of extended zone time. They had a lot at the start of the period, but otherwise they've really just come in on rush chances and made stuff happen. The problem is that anytime they come in with rush chances, it really feels like they have a lot of weight. They're able to come in with weight. They're able to establish a bit of a forecheck. But the one thing the Wild haven't been able to do consistently is stack shifts together. They might get one good shift here or there, but for the most part, the Sabres have been able to break that momentum when they change lines. Contrast that with the Sabres, who have been able to put multiple shifts together at various times and really put the pressure on Minnesota. They're really leaning on the Wild at this point, but it also has to be said, this is the type of game that the Wild like. The Wild are very comfortable in this type of game. They don't mind being tied 2-2 as regulation ticks down. They don't mind going to overtime. They have enough confidence in their defense and their goaltending that they can see these types of games through. So it's really, for the Sabres, just going to be, you have to not mind it either. You have to be ready to play. You have to not be thinking about how close this game is or how much you need the points. You just need to go out there and try to win the next 5 minutes. If you win the next 5 minutes, maybe we walk out of here with a win and 2 points. So it's a pretty big moment, I would say, for this team. We've had a lot this year, but I mean, you lose this game and you go and your record continues to get worse. You continue to sink in the standings with the long road trip coming up. You're this close to being able to get points. You got to find a way to come through if you're Buffalo at this point in time. So the Sabres, 4:40 to go here in the third period. The puck is sent down low, and there's going to be a stoppage there. 4:39 to go. Who's going to get it? Who's going to find the goal that the Sabres need to win this game? Any thoughts out there? Anyone have any thoughts on who's going to find this next goal for Buffalo? Maybe we can create some good vibes here. The draw at center, not center ice, but in the neutral zone is 1. Dahlin gets the puck. He sends it around the zone, and it goes out of the zone. Held pass there, and now it's going to have gone all the way down for icing. I'm not quite sure what the point of holding that one there is by Tage Thompson. He held it to try to create a rush chance. Just skate it, Tage. Honestly, just skate it up the ice. Don't hold it for the rush chance. Move your feet. If you're going to make a long pass, you at least got to complete it. You had guys there. You just missed. So the faceoff comes back down into the Buffalo zone. 4:26 to go here in the third. Draw is won cleanly by the Sabres, so Thompson makes up for that bad pass by winning the draw. And unfortunately, though, the Sabres ice the puck once again. So that time, I believe it was Dahlin doing the icing. Sabres really haven't iced the puck at all tonight. Now, suddenly, when the chips are down, the icing is coming. Doesn't speak too well for what we got to do the rest of the affair here. Puck goes out of the zone. This time is not going to be icing because it's not going to go the length of the ice. And Middleton picks it up for the Wild. Wild gets it to Boldy. Boldy brings it into the zone with a bit of pace. He doubles back, puts it down low for Eriksson. Eriksson battling down low. Johansson is there as well, but the Sabres' power is able to get possession of the puck, and he's able to send it back to Timmins. Timmins has possession as he throws a long pass up ice. Couldn't be handled there by Krebs through the neutral zone, and then knocked down there. Johansson brings it back through the zone. Dunn ties him up, takes him down. Dunn and Krebs take him down. Power's able to get possession of the puck after being knocked down. Good recovery. Puck is sent up ice. It bounces in the middle of center ice and takes a weird hop back to the Wild. 3:34 to go here in the third. Sabres needing to find a goal here if they want to win this game. Otherwise, if they got to stop the Wild in order to go to overtime. 3:20 to go in the third. Wild working around the zone is Kaprizov. He muscles off his man, then he takes Timmins down. Puck goes to the other side of the zone. McLeod is going to be tied up by 2 Wild. Timmins comes in and throwing the body, and now there's a big tie up there. 2 Sabres and 2 Wild tied up in the corner. Samuelson's able to knock the puck free and out of the zone. So now 3 minutes left. The Wild have all the possession now. We've talked about how they hadn't had much sustained possession. Well, now they do. now that it's go time, the Wild are definitely going. Puck is flipped up to center ice. The Sabres look like they're in a more defensive posture, which I got to say is not how I wanted them to play this. 2:38 to go. The Wild try to bring it across center ice. I don't know who that was, but if that was Spurgeon, he basically just fell down. And now Brodin has it. He chips it, or guns it down ice as well. And Dahlin can't corral it, so they get a forecheck going again. Does this third or fourth line of the Wild with Treinen. But Treinen turns it over, and the Sabres bring it back up with Noah Ostlund. Ostlund battling for it along the wall. Boy, the Wild are just getting everything into a puck battle right now, and right now they are winning all of the puck battles. 2:09 to go in the third, 2-2 the score. The Wild have really, really turned the tempo here in the last 5 minutes. They have been more physical, they've been engaging more, and meantime the Sabres look like they're shrinking a little bit from the moment. This is what has gone on with this team this year, is when you get in the big moments, they have shrunk a little bit. But they only have to see off 2:09 more to pick up a point, so let's hope they can do that. Draw is won by the Sabres, but it goes back behind the defenseman, and the Sabres will have to reset in their own end. They do a double pass there with the defenseman, and then they're able to chip it down into the zone. Trying to get a forecheck going with Tage Thompson. Thompson is able to tie up his man, gets it to Kozak. Kozak, there are 3 Wild on Kozak in the zone. They are not going to lose any puck battles right now. They are getting numbers to the puck every time here in the last 5 minutes. 1:43 to go. Byram has to double back, gets it to Samuelson with some space. Wild also not afraid to bring a guy up on the forecheck to disrupt proceedings for the Sabres. The Sabres dump the puck down low again. Gustafsson plays it to Brodin for the Wild. Boldy has it now. He brings it forward to Eriksson. Puck is dumped in. Timmins is able to beat Eriksson to it. Power is able to get the puck past Boldy. Mallenstein tries to bring it up ice. He is able to get it out of the zone, but the Sabres are not able to get possession through the neutral zone. 1:14 to go. Here come the Wild again. Eriksson, stick of the puck. Dunn is able to get it out of the zone as it does eventually find its way out. 1:06 to go. The Wild try to reset. Mallenstein has possession. There, gets it to Krebs. They're tied up in the neutral zone once again. Both teams are not afraid to tie up at the moment. Now there's a bit of love going on between Mallenstein and Eriksson while the Sabres are getting some offensive zone time because they look like they've got the Wild a little bit off their game. Zucker ties up behind the net. He's battling. Mallenstein's not there. There's a takedown. There's McLeod trips over the net. But that's the first time in these last 5 minutes where the Sabres have been able to get a tie-up, and they force, it would have been icing, but the puck did not go the length of the ice. It took a hop and slowed up. So Quinn now, with the Sabres, they're able to dump it in. 26 seconds to go in regulation. Quinn is able to kind of navigate his way there, but the Wild are able to get possession of the puck. They send it down ice. It's chipped in at center, so not going to be icing as Dahlin touches it with 12 seconds to go in regulation. Sabres sweep the puck up ice one more time. It's an air pass. Quinn is there. Quinn has it. 4 seconds to go. They're going to have to get a shot. Krebs looking, gets it. One-time chance from the left circle, and time expires on the period and on regulation. So the Buffalo Sabres pick up a point, which is good work because it's a point against a Western Conference foe. They're off the pointless streak, and they're going to have an opportunity here in overtime to get a win. Obviously, 3-on-3 overtime has not been very nice to us this year, but this is a good result for Buffalo. No matter how you slice it, to go on the road and stand up and play a solid game against the Wild the way that they have, against arguably the hottest team in the league right now. I mean, you can say Tampa Bay is probably the hottest team in the league, but the hottest team in the Western Conference right now. It's an impressive performance. They stood up. They came to play. They played very well in this one in a lot of respects. And you just think if we don't have those turnovers, we don't have those bad defensive mistakes, it's pretty much a perfect game as far as the defense is concerned, as far as Colton Ellis is concerned, as far as the forwards' effort is concerned. This has been a good performance tonight. And honestly, it's just been the Sabres shooting themselves in the foot that have given the Wild this opportunity to win this game. And again, this is why it is so frustrating when the Buffalo Sabres go out and lay eggs against bad teams because they are capable of performances like this against good teams. Like, this team needs to find consistency. Well, look, that's true. That's a very good point. You got to try to get some goals that aren't dumb luck, but that's going to turn eventually. You know, we ran into a hot goaltender last night, and we've run into a solid goaltender tonight. But yeah, they have to finish. They have to finish. But I'm proud overall with the fact that they stood up and they played very, very hard against a better foe. But, you know, at some point we got to start converting these into wins and converting these into good feelings. I feel like almost every time I do one of these, we have an overtime game. Hey, Andres, thanks for coming in. I hope best of luck for the Wild in this overtime. You guys are having a great year, or at least a great month, so I hope you keep it up, just not in the next 5 minutes. We got to stand toe-to-toe with the really bad teams, though. We got to stand toe-to-toe with the teams on our level and beat the teams on our level. It doesn't do any good if you only stand up against the good teams. There's not that many good teams to stand up against. Overtime is underway. The Wild should be heavily favored in this overtime period. So, here we go, right? I try to get the karma, you know? I try to get the good karma. I never wish ill for the opposition because I think being kind to the opposition gives you better opportunities. The Sabres in with a wraparound chance here. Tuck is denied by Gustafsson. Puck comes out of the zone here. Byram scoots it away from the onrushing Wild, and here come the Sabres. Bowen Byram shot down low, a pretty good opportunity, almost connected with Tuck, but he was just a little bit past the net to make something happen. The Wild coming out now with their first rush of overtime. Johansson dropping it for Boldy. Boldy brings it around the net, and now he throws it all the way back around to absolutely nobody because it went out of play. You're a tougher man than I am there, Chris. That's for sure. But I've had a lot of luck with my system of compliments and negativity over the years with at least the Packers, not so much with the Sabres. But you know, it's a good hockey market up there in Minnesota. Give that to them. 3:46 to go here in overtime. The Sabres in a 2-2 draw. Puck goes out of the zone here. Picked up by Spurgeon behind his own net. Spurgeon, the Wild taking their time trying to set up some speed to set up a rush. And away they go with Johansson yet again. Johansson and Eriksson this time. Johansson tries to throw it back. Honestly, there was nobody there even if he had thrown it back. Dahlin's able to win possession of the puck to at least the neutral zone, get it out of the zone, but the Wild still maintain the puck as they bring it back into their own end. Hey, local. Welcome. Good to see you. Kaprizov here has the puck in overtime. Kaprizov takes a shot. It's blocked. A good block there by Dahlin. And now Kaprizov recycles the puck back to the point for Boyum. Boyum, Kaprizov, and then the Wild just skated out of the zone to try to reset. They don't go deep enough to really allow a change, although now they have worked it all the way back into their own end. I don't really understand that on the part of the Wild. I guess they didn't have the look they wanted. They wanted to reset their attack, but I'm of the feeling when you have the team down, you keep pressing. Boldy here brings the puck towards the goal, and now he plays it back to the point one more time. Boldy able to take it as they cycle around the zone. A lot of cycling, not a lot of going towards the net. Kaprizov leaves it for Boldy. Boldy moves into the high danger area, then drops it and is stripped away. And if the Sabres can get this, they might have a breakaway chance here. Quinn and McLeod, 2-on-0 chance. Quinn, a shot! And it is saved by Gustafsson. It was not a clean 2-on-1 chance. Not in the slightest. But it was a chance nonetheless. A breakaway opportunity there just couldn't get it past Gustafsson. The Sabres may live to regret that one, or they may not. But, oh yeah, pretty good opportunity there. Don't know if he got all of the puck. But, yeah, he didn't get all of it off his stick. And the save is made by Gustafsson. So timeout is coming here. Obviously, you'd want to get some rest and get some organization for the remaining 2:06 of this overtime. Yeah, that's the best chance they've... I think there was one more. I think Doan had one in the slot earlier. But, yeah, that one was a bit better than that because it's a breakaway opportunity. I don't really like the way... if you're on the Wild side, you can't really like how they have approached this. There's a lot of trepidation as far as going towards the net. They've cycled it around the zone a lot, but they haven't really gone towards the net a lot. Obviously, there's 2 minutes left, so maybe that timeout, they're going to get a bit of a better plan in place. Sabres just haven't seen much of the puck in this overtime, as is typical for us in overtime. Byram swipes that puck all the way back down. Ellis is going to play it there and leave it for Tuck. The Sabres should take their time and get a bit of a get their bodies together there. They're able to get it to Thompson through the zone. Thompson, he loses an edge going towards the net. How many times are we going to lose an edge in overtime? Seriously, the worst time you can do it, and I feel like we always do it. The Wild don't hit with a great deal of speed. One of their men runs into a linesman. Ellis with the save. They try to throw it back out front. Johansson recovers from his date with the linesman there and fires it right into Tage Thompson. But the Sabres are not able to get control of the puck. Chance in front. Great save again. Colton Ellis. I don't know. Tage Thompson just kind of standing in the middle of the ice, not doing very much. Well, the Wild have decided they want to go to the net a little bit. Alex Tuck holds the puck while they're able to get a bit of a change, are the Sabres. 1:12 to go here in the overtime. Dahlin has it now. Brings it across the center. Zucker is in. He's changed there with Tuck. Dahlin into the corner. The Wild do a great job of cycling and funneling everything to the wall. It makes it very difficult to get open looks here in overtime. The Wild have done a good job, again, cycling the puck around the zone. The Sabres are trying to go to the back wall and set up from there, but it's just not happening. The Wild are taking that away. Kaprasov leaves it, but he leaves it out of the zone for his defenseman there. And now he has the puck. McLeod in on a little bit of a forecheck, but not too much of one. And now they're almost able to trap them there. And they are able to trap them. Can they win possession of the puck is the question. McLeod does win possession, but they call it offside as he was flipping the puck in the air as he went into the zone. 28.5 to go. Colton Ellis, one outstanding save after another. He's been great tonight. Like, he has come up big. He's the first goalie we have had in these last 2 games. The first of the 3. We've played all 3 now in the last 3 games. The first one he's been able to come up and reliably make saves when he has to. And that has kept this game afloat for us. 28 seconds away now from a shootout. The Sabres are going to have possession. Now, if I'm the Sabres, I'm going to try to hold this as much as I can to get one last rush up the ice. I don't want to press it and give them another opportunity. It's like the last shot in basketball. Sabres are coming here. Peyton Krebs out there, makes a move, loses the puck. Is that really Peyton Krebs? Or is that Beck Mallenstein? That is really Peyton Krebs on the ice in overtime. I can't accept that. The man has no goals this year. But it doesn't do us any harm as overtime comes to an end, tied at 2. So the shootout will be coming here in Minnesota. So there's not much more you can say. Just let's get this shootout done. Well, Chris, both of your teams have gone to shootouts tonight. Let's hope that this goes better than the last one for your other team here. Well, the Sabres are 1-0 in shootouts this year. They beat the Washington Capitals on the strength of a good performance by UPL and a shootout goal by Bowen Byram. I don't know if we're going to be able to count on a repeat performance here. The Wild are a very good team. I believe in shootouts this year. I don't have that 100% memorized. We got more Wild fans in here Shot a 0-0. That's pretty good. I like the ice faces there. That's pretty cool. So we got the shootout, and the Sabres desperately need these 2 points. We'll take 1 point, but a second point given that the rest of the division did very well today. We're trying not to fall further and further behind with the long road trip coming. And this is going to be Colton Ellis' shootout debut in the NHL. Zuccarello takes the puck, skates it in, comes in through the circle, does one move, and Colton Ellis gets the pad out to stop the puck. No goal there for Minnesota. Good job by Colton Ellis to make himself big and to stay with it. I think he was able to disrupt the shot. He didn't make the save with his pad, but he was able to disrupt it kind of with his stick. I will say Colton Ellis, one of his strengths seems to be puck tracking. I don't think it's going to be too easy to beat him in a shootout. Tage Thompson bringing it in for the Sabres. In on Gustafsson. Shot. He scores. Buffalo takes a 1-0 lead here early on in the shootout. Good job by Tage Thompson beating Gustafsson. And just a simple play. Didn't try to do anything fancy. Brought it in, made one move, and fired. Like, that is perfect. That is what I would encourage in shootouts. The guys who make 1,000 moves, it tends not to work out. It works out less than it's successful. Boldy coming in here for Minnesota, trying to equalize this shootout. Takes a wide turn, then brings it back to the middle. Makes a quick move, and he scores. Past Colton Ellis. A really nice move by Boldy. Created an angle, and then made a nice deke to put it high and past Ellis. Ellis did a good job staying with him. That's just a case where the shooter does what he's supposed to do. Couldn't quite get his pad high enough. And just a nice shot there by Boldy. All credit to him for that. Minnesota were the stars of the stars. See, local, you always have those quips on many levels. Jack Quinn brings it in now. Takes it from the circle. Shot. He scores! Yes, that was in. It looked like it got the crossbar. Sabres up 2-1 here through 2 rounds of the shootout. Jack Quinn in the back of the net for Buffalo. And that did hit the back of the net. It looked dangerous. It looked like it wasn't going to be there. Kaprizov going to take the 3rd round chance for Minnesota. If he does not get this, that is game. Kaprizov takes a big turn, now heads in from the circle. He looks, he dekes, he shoots, he scores. Past Colton Ellis, so not the best shootout debut in the world for him. Going to equalize this shootout at 2. But he made 1 save. That's all you need if you don't miss. The high skill guys for Minnesota did their job in the shootout, that is for sure. The Sabres have 1 more star to go, and that is Alex Tuch. Tuch, time to make up for that turnover earlier, Alex. Alex Tuch brings it in from the circle. He looks, he makes a move, he puts it wide of the goal. I mean, can't say I didn't see that coming. Contract year, Alex. Contract year. Do something. Yeah, he deked himself out. He didn't have a lane. Gustafsson did a good job staying with him. Up now for the Wild. They bring it in, looking for a chance, and it is wide of the goal. I don't think Ellis had to do much on that one. Just not a great shot. Tarasenko was the shooter. Tarasenko brought it in. He put it. Maybe Ellis got a piece of it. Maybe not, but it was just wide. So the Sabres now an opportunity to win this game, and it would be on the stick of Noah Ostlund if it can happen. This would be a big moment for the kid. So can Ostlund do it? He brings it into the zone. Keep it simple, Noah. Noah brings it in, looks, dekes, shoots, scores! The Buffalo Sabres take down the Minnesota Wild 3-2. The kid got it done. The kids got it done. Noah Ostlund, Colton Ellis come up big in the shootout. And the Buffalo Sabres are off the schneid. They knock off the hottest team in the league. And wow, that is a nice moment for all of us. And a wonderful win for the Buffalo Sabres. They got 2 goals that really, well, we don't know how we got them. Got us to the shootout, and Noah Ostlund, never in doubt. And, yeah, that's what we needed. We needed that momentum. Gives us a shot to have a 4-game stretch here if we can handle Winnipeg on Monday. So definitely what we needed. Would have been bad to go down 8 points in the division. Just need to get this consistency going. We need to play good against bad teams. We play great against good teams. Let's keep it going. Nice win here. I got to actually update the score. And the Cats are ready for a fight again. So I think they're a little freaked out about it. So glad. This was one we desperately needed, and we got it done. And it wasn't an easy game by any stretch. We made a lot of mistakes, but we held tough. We played good. I mean, look at the puck battles. We won so many puck battles in this game tonight against a team that is really good at winning puck battles, against a team that is really good at going to the boards and beating you up physically and winning those battles. And they're comfortable playing that way. We really beat them at their own game of just being tough and sticking with it. So, I mean, how can you not come out of this game feeling anything other than amazing with this one? So, great win for the Sabres tonight. Just a really wonderful performance in a lot of respects. Yes, we didn't generate much offensively, but at the end of the day, when the chips were down, we hung tough and we got the win, and that's all that matters. And all that matters is you cash in the 2 points. So, great work there for the Sabres. I actually have forgotten when my next stream is, so I'm scurrying to do that for all y'all before you head out here. My next stream is not going to be for a couple weeks again because my work schedule quite tough again. So the next stream is scheduled for, it'll be Sunday, December 14th at 8 against the Seattle, I always said the Seattle Thunderbirds. That's where Radim Mertke is, against the Seattle Kraken. So that'll be the next stream. It's going to be a little sparse over the next 2 weeks as far as the live streams. The end of the month, though, there's going to be a lot. We'll have one on the 20th of December, the 27th, the 29th, the 31st, and then January 3rd. So there's going to be a lot of live streams coming the end of December. Just bear with me until then. But I'm very glad I could do the 2 this weekend, and I'm very happy that all of you who were in here today could join with us. So, yeah, thank you all. It was a lot of fun, and hey, we got a win. Another shootout win. So I actually need to I need to compile what our records are in this live stream, but pretty good. And it is learning. These kids are learning how to win, right? I mean, these are games. These games against these good teams are games we would have lost last year that we're finding ways to win. We just got to beat the bad teams. That's the next step for the Sabres. So it was a lot of fun. Everyone here who was here, who commented, thank you very much. Chris, you were talking the whole game. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't think we had a parlay win for Terrence, unfortunately. I don't think Zucker got the 3 shots, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. So thank you all very much. Everyone who came in, everyone who watched and didn't necessarily comment, thank you all very much. It was a lot of fun. I was happy to be here with y'all. We will be back in mid-December with the live stream, but the channel will continue to have recaps and previews and anything else I can think of to cook up in the coming weeks. So we will see you all with a recap of this one. That should be out probably sometime on Monday morning or Monday afternoon. And then there will be a preview coming as well for the Winnipeg, or sorry, not Monday. That'll be out sometime Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. And then we'll have a preview video for Winnipeg. That should be out sometime on Monday. Well, Nika, I'm glad I could help you out a little bit here with that. And when we have these live streams, I will be happy to help any of y'all who can't watch the game out. We will have a lot of live streams coming up down the road just this month, next month. Going to be a little tough on that. But yeah, thank y'all. I'm glad for all of you. I noticed today we got over the 200 subscriber mark during this live stream. So thank you all very much for that as well. I really appreciate the support, the kind words. There's a lot of days sometimes when I'm really busy, but knowing that I have you guys out there with a lot of kindness and support and strong opinions about the Sabres, it helps me a lot in making the videos. So thank you very much. Brandon, glad you could make it. I know you're usually at the games, but I'm glad you could join because this was a road game tonight. I was happy to have you here, so thank you very much. Y'all are awesome. Thank you all so very much, and we will see you in the comments. We'll see you in the videos, and I'm looking forward to the next time we can all be together on a live stream. So thank you all. Have a great evening. As always, go Sabres. Bye-bye.